The store shows where the bullets shattered glass.
Several shots have been fired.
Welcome to some of the most violent men on planet Earth that are still active in the streets, terrorizing society and victimizing innocent civilians. In this documentary, we look at active gang members that make people run in fear.
Shooting began just after 2:30 this afternoon.
These are the bloodthirsty savages in the streets that strike fear in their rivals. Welcome to the most dangerous active black gang members. In this first section, we look at 5 active black gang members who crashed out on camera. At number 5, we look at a Chicago drill rapper who goes by the rapper name M Block Die Y. This young adult specializes in making bad decisions. He is a high-ranking member in the most feared set in all of Chicago, M Block. Before he has time to even eat breakfast or brush his teeth in the morning, you will find this dedicated soldier riding around Chicago at 6 in the morning looking for his rivals.
Now, you know, we ride through Chicago, all types of stuff. We see this car. Now we flying. It been at the stop sign for a minute. So I say, "Now what's wrong with them?" They say, "Pull up and let's check." I say, "Pull up on them." Oh, sleep! Boy, you're out 79. Boy, wake up!
While everyone else is getting ready for work, they end up running into their buddies passed out in their car in rival territory after a long night of partying. In this next clip, M Block Die Y, the king of bad decisions, records another video later that night of him and his boys posted up outside of a rival's apartment complex.
Cousin, stop playing with us, gang. Stop on the left side. Stop playing with us, gang. I'm looking.
Hey, Big Snake, you cool? You cool?
At 9:35 at night, while most people are spending quality time with their families, this brother is still riding around and searching for his ops after starting at 6 in the morning. I wonder whether or not he gets overtime clout points because bro has put in a long day of work after his guys slumped a rival who goes by the street name TJ. 800 M Block Die Y found himself bored all day and with nothing to do, and in this next clip, he talks about how boring life is now that all his rivals are 6 feet under the ground.
How did you feel about Cross Western Juan saying you haven't been the same since 800 TJ passing?
My brother know me the most. I swear to God, I don't feel the same. Like, the you wanted to hurt so bad is gone. Now I don't have nobody to look for. I don't have nothing to do. I'm bored. Like,
the poor guy has nothing to do all day now that all of his ops are gone. Maybe it's time to find a new hobby like fishing or ice skating.
Juan just like cracking jokes. I don't know why he like playing with me either. But that's my big brother, man. This is watch. I took it.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
Wait, what?
Wait, it's...
No, but God is good all the time. Amen.
Okay, was that a troll?
No, I'll never troll TJ.
But you did online. Y'all was go. Y'all, I seen y'all back and forth. Y'all was trolling each other.
That was my homie, man. I swear to God. It might look crazy. I really wanted to pull up and shake his hand.
In this next clip, we get to see what happens when a fan pulls up on M Block Die Y.
What's that word?
What's wrong?
What you want?
What you want?
I've been listening to Lando, KC.
All right, slow down. What you doing?
Oh.
Nah, you walking up on me a little too much, so let's pause. You just seen from the full package, just said,
Oh, no, we ain't on.
This poor kid that seems like a good young man is excited to see his favorite rapper, and instead of showing him respect, the guys in M Block start punking him out on camera and record the whole interaction and post it to the internet to bully and embarrass one of their biggest fans.
I don't know you. I know folks.
You don't know me.
Hey, we out here.
Where you just come from? That's what I just said. Where you from, though? Where you from? The hospital down there.
Where I'm from?
Hey, get your bitch ass on if I shoot the shit out you. Oh, if I shoot you on your
All right, go ahead, bro. What you keep on high for? Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
You can tell this poor kid is hurt and confused why his favorite rapper of all time is treating him so poorly. You get no cool points for bullying your fans. This is the type of crap that pushes a good kid like that into the streets because he is tired of being picked on. Having grown up in the hood, I have seen this happen countless times where good kids join gangs because they are tired of getting bullied.
Go ahead, though. Go ahead, though.
If bro treats his fans like this, you can only imagine how nice he must be to his rivals. At number 4.
Social media can be redundant or overwhelming, but for a couple of deputies watching an Instagram live feed, it's what led to a young man that they had been searching for weeks. wanted for a drive-by shooting and robbery.
For whatever strange reason, this modern generation of youngsters in the streets nowadays like to record all their crimes on social media so they can help police with their investigations and help get the evidence needed to get decades in prison.
This is Volusia County body cam video. It's December 27th, just before 1:30 in the morning, and deputies are watching an Instagram live stream. A Volusia County deputy is watching the live stream in search of 20-year-old Kevin Gaines Jr.
If you are a drill rapper committing crimes and really living what you rap about, I hope you are aware that your biggest fans are police officers and FBI agents. They know the lyrics to all your songs. They know exactly who you're beefing with and what the scoreboard is with your rivals. These cops will even bump your music on the way to work. They're like super fans. As soon as you go on Instagram Live, they are tuning in.
Deputies have been trying to find the man for alleged crimes since November.
The man must have gotten bored of the free world, and he must have missed all the sweaty men in jail because he made it nice and easy for police.
Get to the house. He just shut his live off and said the cops are here.
As deputies walk around the house, Gaines realizes that they are there. Gaines abruptly ends the live stream, but not before saying that deputies are at his home. But he doesn't come outside.
Black male, he had on a white shirt and a black undershirt, and he did have a firearm in his hand. Hey, you can tell him to either come on out or we're going to write a search warrant. We'll go in and get him. Yeah, he was on a live video, and as soon as he saw the blue lights, he shut the live video off, and they said, man, hurry up, cuz they're here. Ma'am, here's the deal, okay? I know he's inside. So I know 100% sure he's inside.
$100.
Okay. Well, guess what?
If I win, you gonna give me my money?
Give you your money.
As a black man, I will be the first to say that these are the type of women that are ruining our communities. Your son is out there shooting at people and on the run, and in your house on Instagram Live waving around a gun, and you're going to bet the cop $100 that your son is not there when everyone saw him on Instagram. She should be arrested too for harboring a fugitive and lying to police.
Eventually, Gaines comes out of the house and is arrested.
Do you guys think his mother was a woman of character and integrity and was true to her word and gave the cop the $100 that she bet? Let me know in the comments section what you guys think.
According to Volusia County Sheriff's Office, Gaines was arrested on a charge of possession of a firearm by a delinquent, warrants for grand theft auto, criminal mischief, and no valid driver's license.
Gaines was also arrested on warrants for a bond being revoked on previous charges of discharging a firearm from a vehicle, possession of a firearm by a delinquent, fleeing or attempting to elude law enforcement, and no valid driver's license.
At number 3, we look at a heartbreaking situation where a young man struggling with severe mental health issues starts begging rival gang members to take his life. Despite his severe mental health issues allegedly, this young man had recently been initiated into the Bloods gang. After being in the car during a couple drills and seeing the sad reality of the violence, his mental health got the best of him, and his mind completely deteriorated, and he intentionally got himself chipped.
Oh, this car coming in hot. Oh, they Wonderland down. He just shot me out. Look, my window bush. Got holes in my car. He just shot me out, y'all.
Chris, the disturbed individual, after being shot at and almost losing his life, instead of being grateful that he was able to get out of the situation alive, decided to continue antagonizing his rivals, and he rolled up to another Alabama hood to see if they would dump at him like the last hood did. He was so close to death to the point some bullets grazed him and he was bleeding, but he still wanted to push forward with the trolling.
I don't bleed. I think I'm bleed. He just shot me out. So, they talking about something. They talking about something over here. Let's see what they're talking about. Ain't just with me. I ain't gonna call police on y'all, bro. Y'all chill. Y'all straight. Y'all ain't got rap fast. Just chill. Everybody chill. I'm getting out of there. Everybody chill. He just shot me out. Oh, bro, I had a Glock with a 30 in it too, Jim.
This disturbed individual in desperate need of psychological help then decides to go to the most dangerous hood in Alabama while bumping his lips at them to see if they are about that life and will be the ones to put him 6 feet under the ground.
You about that, y'all? Birmingham about this, y'all? Yeah, who about it? Who ready? Kishan, you ready? It's your time.
Chris, the disturbed individual with severe mental health issues, then tells rivals to pull up and get busy at a Shell's gas station. He is going to, since he is running low on gas and things get deadly.
Y'all British take me out on that. Up in the park at Shells. Y'all go on and race.
This is really concerning behavior. And I feel for this young adult, he is literally asking them to erase him. He desperately needs years of treatment to get him in a better place mentally.
Y'all go on and race. Go on and race. You got one shot. Them boys' hands and clap me out. But I ain't gonna, I'm gonna let Belsman. I was born and raised in Belsman out of.
Unfortunately for Chris, he learned the hard way that you can only get lucky and barely avoid tragedy so many times. And unfortunately, when this next group of steppers and crash-outs who drove to the gas station on a mission to take this young man away from his family when they got there, things did not go as well as the other times, and when the group of masked individuals started dumping this time, most of the bullets penetrated Chris's skin. In an act of humanity captured on camera, a good Samaritan driving a red car put their life on the line and tried to help Chris, and everything was captured on Instagram Live. After his phone fell over the live went black, but you can still clearly hear the entire conversation.
Come here. Move my leg. Come here. Jump on me. No, you ain't.
If you think the streets are cool, look at what happened to Chris. The PTSD of having to look over your back everywhere you go became overwhelming, and this young adult essentially begged his rivals to take him out. At number 2. When thinking of the most evil gang members of all time, one of the first people that comes to mind is the Grim Reaper of Chicago drill rap legend Lil Reese. While many people love him for his legendary rap career, the reality is he is a deplorable human being that has done countless horrific things over the years. In 2012, there was a viral video that's been posted all over the internet of this evil man beating the living daylight out of a young lady at a party, and he recently got sentenced to 5 years in prison for viciously attacking a female family member. As you can tell from his charges, this is not a man with good morals and integrity, and allegedly he has been struggling with a severe drinking problem these last 5 years.
What you
Get his ass. Get his ass. Wake up, Put that in his head.
They then pour a beer on top of the head of this poor homeless man that was just trying to sleep.
See, put that on his head.
Come on, man. Don't do that, man. That ain't right, man.
Pouring beer on his head and then palming and gripping up the back of his head like that is disgusting and deplorable behavior. It's tough enough for this poor man that he is homeless and is just trying to get some sleep. The last thing he needs is to be victimized and mistreated when all he is trying to do is get some sleep on the streets for Lil Reese to humiliate this man. Like, this shows a certain level of cruelty and evilness that is unheard of even in Chicago. Lil Reese has some serious psychological problems, and he is the kind of guy that victimizes people that can't defend themselves, like women and homeless people.
Man. I want to say shout out to Lil Reese because I'm about to speak on him. But man, I'm kind of disappointed in Lil Reese. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, we know what you were saying. You don't have to check in every 5 seconds.
Blog about something that, you know, Lil Reese, you supposed to be big, bro. You know what I'm saying? You done survived all the wars and whatnot in Chirac. You know what I'm saying?
Once again, yes, bud, we know what you were saying. Please stop asking.
You know what I'm saying? You done been hit a couple of times, but you still here for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And you done went viral for certain situations people didn't agree with. But this one right here, Lil Reese, I gotta put you out there, bro. Lil Reese he's recently been training because him and a group of his family members or his entourage, his guys or whatever they are, they were walking. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I know what they were walking means for the 100th time. I speak English. You don't need to keep asking if I know what you are saying. This man talks like what you would expect a Spanish teacher as they ask the class after every sentence if they know what they are saying.
They were walking, you know what I'm saying, walking down the sidewalk in the city, you know what I'm saying, walking down the sidewalk in the city, you know what I'm saying, they seen a homeless man. You know what I'm saying, you can hear Lil Reese saying, get him, you know what I'm saying, they been pulled a drink on the homeless man's head. Homeless man sleep, you know what I'm saying? He don't know what's going on, you know what I'm saying? And,
why is it so hard for this man to speak without asking for reassurance that I know what he is saying?
Pulled the drink on the homeless man's head, one of the guys palmed the
In this last clip, we get to see body cam footage from when Lil Reese showed up to his ex-girlfriend's house, who he was putting hands on that had placed a restraining order against him.
Right now you're in violation of protective order, man. Put your hands behind your back. What happened? You're in violation of protective order.
How?
Last time I came out here.
No, look, brother, look, how? What I do? I didn't do nothing, brother.
You're on the property.
No, that's my, look, brother, I just went to court, yes, I could come here.
Who said that?
The judge. I'm good, brother. Look, I don't have no ban on. I had the protection order paper in the house. I never violated nothing, brother. I could come here.
Right?
I could come here. I didn't do nothing. I could come here, brother. It's in the house. I promise you, I could come here, brother. I promise you, brother. I wouldn't be right here if I I'm not no dummy, brother. I could come here, brother.
I got you.
I'm gonna call my lawyer right now.
Okay, so for right now, I'm gonna detain you. Okay, I'm gonna get in contact with the DA, and we'll go from there.
His ex-girlfriend, who he has been stalking and abusing, then begs the police to not leave without taking him because Lil Reese is dangerous.
Okay. Okay. So, like I said, right now, right now you're in the violation of protective order.
I told them that you hit me. You doesn't have a protective order. It's gone. It's gone. It's over.
She had a protective order against Lil Reese that she claims is over. She does not want Lil Reese to go to jail. She just wants this evil man to get away from her house and stop stalking and victimizing her.
Yes, can I go get my paper? I'm trying to exit. Can I go get my paper? And he's doing too much. I said, shut up talking to me. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to him. I'm not talking to you.
Can I go get my paper?
Who dismissed?
The judge.
It's dismissed. I'll go get it for you.
Okay, you go ahead and go get it.
Like, come on, bro. What is you doing, bro? You're not even listening to me, bro. You're just trying to lock me up, bro.
If that's how you feel, that's fine.
Over the years, a lot of people have been excusing his poor behavior because they like his rap music.
Bro, you're not listening to me,
That's
bro.
fine.
You're trying to lock me up, bro. You're
That's
not
fine.
listening to me, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I didn't do nothing, bro. I didn't violate nothing, bro. I'm okay right now, bro.
Okay.
Like, come on, man.
The protective order is dismissed. I'm leaving out my home, and I called you because I don't want. Stop talking to me. I'm leaving.
Talk to you, bro.
I don't want to talk. I'm leaving, and I called y'all so that I could safely leave my house.
Lil Reese is an evil man. This poor girl felt she had to call the police just so she could safely leave her house.
I called y'all so that I could safely leave my house without nobody picking them up.
Just go.
That's why I
Hold on, hold on. I'm not done. They're right there for me.
But the protective order, it is.
Why is you calling the police? Come on, in the dark.
I'm getting out this house, just like you just said.
Man, I don't want you to leave. I just said that. Man, she good, bro.
Like I said, stay over here.
What is you doing, bro?
Stay over here. I'm not gonna keep going back and forth with you. Stay over here.
I don't care. You see what's going on.
Stay over here until I figure all this out. Stay over here. Stay over here. Stay over here. Last time I here, you had a protective order.
Man.
Okay? So stay over there until I find out.
It's good. It's good. You don't have to.
When police give you instructions, you have to follow their orders or else you are going to get arrested.
Why is he putting me in the cuffs?
We gotta detain you, man. Like you don't want to cooperate.
Come on, you don't have to put me in the cuffs though, bro.
Oh yeah, we do. See, anytime somebody don't want to cooperate, they want to go. But listen, I understand that. But you just call it the law.
Lil Reese is an evil man and the kind of guy you don't want anywhere near the women in your life that you care about. Hopefully, this disturbed evil man will get the help he needs so he stops victimizing the women in his life. At number 1. Broke ASF is a 24-year-old clown from Jacksonville and the textbook definition of ignorance. After getting invited and paid to do an interview on a YouTube channel called Hoodrich Kevin, which is ran by a good brother that follows the law and makes his money doing legal things like YouTube, Broke ASF ends up showing up completely tweaked out of his mind and makes a fool of himself.
What you mean you had to do like what you mean by that, bro?
After gobbling a bunch of Yerkes like they're Tic Tacs, this clown starts nodding off and can barely speak, and he keeps disrespecting the interview and is wasting the poor brother's time that was just trying to do his job and conduct a semi-coherent interview.
You can ask me that? You want to see what happened? I mean, I was just asking, bro. I was just trying to see what happened, bro. I can show you. Turn the camera on.
This incredibly ignorant young man has the audacity to show up to an interview tweaked out of his mind and get annoyed that the interviewer is doing his job and asking questions. If we just wanted to watch someone nodding off, we would just go under our local bridge. We want to hear what you have to say, not just watch you nod off for an hour and a half. This man, who is an embarrassment to my community, starts flashing an illegal blick and starts threatening to slump the interviewer, who has remained professional and kind and understanding throughout it, and he even offers to pay for an Uber.
Yes, sir. You need a ride? I said I gotta call my motherfucking driver. I don't need no ride. I get your Uber.
As a black man, I feel obligated to let it be known that most black men are just like the interviewer, hard-working guys that are doing their best to provide for their families. Guys like Broke ASF are an embarrassment to my community and makes all of us law-abiding. Hard-working black men look bad.
Hold on.
I am telling you right now, anyone that sags their pants like that is not allowed anywhere near my house. The poor interviewer Kevin, with how low broke ASF's pants are, because of where he is seated, he has a full frontal view at nothing but wood beginning to poke its way out.
Bro, I don't need no bro. What's up with you, bro? I'm good, man.
The most ignorant thing about all of this is the fact that he lives in Florida, where the police do not play around. Since he is a felon, he is not allowed to be in the possession of a firearm, and since he also threatened the interviewer with that same illegal firearm on camera, that could be an additional felony charge and could land him in prison for up to 15 years. According to the law, a convicted felon in Florida threatening someone with a gun faces a minimum of 3 years up to a maximum of 15 years in prison. Here is what you guys need to pay the most attention to and why what he did was so incredibly stupid. Because a firearm is involved, the crime triggers mandatory minimums and is frequently charged with multiple overlapping offenses. In other words, he is completely screwed if there is a mandatory minimum that means best case scenario, he does 3 years. And because the interview went viral and got a couple 100,000 views, it is a guarantee that police have seen the video and are either going to arrest him or they are waiting till they can stack up more charges and fry him in the courtroom and sentence him to life. Let me know in the comments section if you guys think this young man has ever worked a regular 9-to-5 job. In this next section, we look at a group of cringy individuals that wish they were active black gang members. At number 5, this next wannabe street rapper who goes by the name Tut Tarantino is always crashing out, and he is no different than the wannabe street white boys coming from million-dollar mansions in California. He is the son of the Pro Football Hall of Fame legend Michael Irvin, and he grew up in giant mansions, and he was lucky enough to have the ability to do whatever he wants with his life. Instead of using his elite genetics to play sports or being grateful for the privileged suburban million-dollar lifestyle that he has, he decided he wants to be a drill rapper and a gangbanger.
Football ain't never been a focus for me, bro. So it was like, if football ain't the focus, and that's how my pops raising us trying to raise us in the football life, bro. Like, be honest. Everybody be honest with y'allselves. Everybody that criticize me, be honest with y'allselves, bro. Y'all rebelled against y'all's parents in some type of way.
He is not wrong that everyone does rebel against their parents in some type of way, but becoming a drill rapper and joining a gang when your father has a net worth of over 15 million represents a new level of ignorance we have never seen before.
You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how it was, y'all rebelled against him in some type of way. Y'all think because my father won Super Bowl, I'm supposed to be a perfect little, like, bro, come on, bro. I'm a person.
This young man might have the highest IQ of any street rapper.
Mean to you, though? What them?
Man, look, y'all gotta see it like this, man. That's my father, but like, my pops gave me a chain, man. Like this, he gave me this.
Imagine being so privileged that your father can gift you a $100,000 chain for your birthday, and instead of appreciating the wealth and privileged lifestyle you grew up in, you decide to trap and commit crimes not for the money but for entertainment.
Tell him who your father is.
Mike Irvin, that's my father, Michael Irvin.
88.
In this next clip, Michael Irvin explains why he publicly criticizes his son for being a drill rapper.
Why are you hating on Tut Tarantino's career, man? What's the problem? That's just so.
Yo, I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yeah, why you hating on? You know, his son is
rapping.
Yeah, he hating on Tut Tarantino. Talking about he from the suburbs. What's going on with that? Why you hating on Tut?
Carrying the gun, and I said that our music, we romanticize and fantasize thug life. You know, so the lyrics is always something hard and everything. And I said, my son, he sings stuff. And when he sings this stuff, I said, where'd you get this from? Wait a minute, stop. I'm not calling my son a liar. I'm saying we romanticize and fantasize thug life. I said that passionate at the time. My son was locked up on a concealed charge at the time. You see,
right.
At that time, he was locked up. I'm not disowning him.
Instead of enjoying the girls, the supercars, and million-dollar lifestyle he was born into, Tut Tarantino is constantly in and out of jail and wasting his life in a cell locked up with a bunch of men.
My boy, that ain't it. That ain't it. That man clothed you, took care of you. Trying to get the bear off your back, but you're trying to discredit what your father said. Bruh, stop it, bro. Stop it.
This has to be every father's worst nightmare. Imagine grinding your whole life to give your kids a better life than you had, and instead of enjoying the privilege, they want to play gangster.
living your truth.
Yeah.
Rap about your truth. Don't rap about what the trend is. Don't talk about a dress like what the trend is. Living your truth. I don't got time for folks to...
In this last clip, you guys will get to see just how insanely high his IQ is.
I'm a person.
You are correct that you are a person. I'm glad you figured that out, even though some might argue that your actions and the way you talk make you look more like an NPC and not a real human being.
But my mama is not no man. You feel me? You never been a man.
You are correct that your mom is not a man. This guy is really some kind of genius.
You feel me? Point back period, he never been a man.
At number 4, this next trans gang banging drill rapper from Maryland named Corteza Starr has the whole internet going crazy.
What do people assume about you that's usually correct? And I got balls. Okay, y'all. Transgender, down. That's usually people's first assumption is, was you born a boy? Yes.
This infamous drill rapper has been at it for a long time and is the perfect artist to do a feature with the Chicago drill legend Lil J.
You not in Paris, and if you are, you didn't see me. Hey, hi, Snobiety. It's Corteza Starr. We here.
If you take away that wig, all I can see is Steph Curry.
Process of getting put together. Being touched a lot is crazy, but you gotta do what you gotta do when you're out there on the floor. I really like the socks and the shoes. I am a loafer lover. I would wear those outside the church too, maybe even in the club.
You never know what you might find at a club in this crazy new world we are living in.
I made my mind go blink. I was just staring at the person in front of me's head and going. 30 minutes before the show, my outfit was not on. So I was just in a rush. I had no pep talk. I was just, it's time to get in this line and go.
On top of making it huge in rap, she has also been blowing up in the modeling industry, and she has been seen on the runway of some of the biggest fashion shows in the United States.
What's coming up? What are we most looking forward to wearing this winter?
Big furry coat, big furry boots with bikini.
Any head accessories?
You know, like the sleeping caps, like the pajama caps that are like super long?
Yes!
They're kind of camp. Ready to get into my jester style.
Fans have been going ecstatic as they anxiously wait for their role model and favorite drill rapper to switch up into jester style this winter. In this next clip, she explains how she made the massive global radio smash hit single 100 bands.
100 bands, I'm in Paris. It was very just much, kind of just like a hype song. I was in the studio for like an hour or two. And then the whole song was made. So yeah, I write my bars on the couch, maybe a chair, sometimes just in the brain.
To think that such a masterpiece was written so casually is groundbreaking for the music industry and will permanently change how artists write and compose their music moving forward. In this next clip, Corteza Starr explains how femininity works.
Femininity is multifaceted. You gotta get into that. Brat Summer, summer's coming up, it might turn green again. That's mother, okay? I go to Savers in Baltimore. That's to eat. Don't think about the one piece, you have to think about the whole thing. Vision. To all the dolls, keep kicking it, even if you hate me. Boots, you kind of love me, and I kind of love you.
I'm sorry guys, I had a really tough time following her train of thought. Let me know in the comment section if any of you got what she was trying to say. In this next clip, she goes on a podcast with a young man who claims to be straight, but many think is part of the community.
And live, and I'm here with
Corteza Starr.
Yeah, Tire Thrift. We're gonna do a little shop, so let's go.
Baltimore, but I'm raised in Delaware. I rap. Tonight we're doing Corteza Crump. That's one of my big ones because it's like a dance. People like to dance to.
Corteza Starr created a new dance that has been breaking the internet and flooding TikTok.
People all on TikTok video.
A whole new generation of young men are now following her lead and joining the community because of her massive reach and how much they love her music and style. And as Corteza Starr has gotten bigger and bigger, they have been posting non-stop about how the Corteza takeover is getting serious.
You have to teach me. Know that you're like into alternative. How would you describe your style?
Grunge, aesthetic, really, like kind of punk.
Can we all agree as a community not to sag our pants anymore? And of all interviews, sagging your pants like that, doing it during this one adds another layer to the situation and is out of pocket. I know bro claims to have a girlfriend, but we have to be honest here, guys. Someone definitely sprinkled a little sweetener in this man's tank.
Oh, is there some stuff here that you see that is like a little bit of your style?
So I got this little shirt, this little graphic shirt. I'm putting it under the leather jacket and with the pants.
While the new style is fresh, I know you guys have all been anxiously waiting at home for winter so we can see the highly anticipated jester style that the entire world has been counting down the days so they can finally see that magnificent outfit.
Yeah, ready to get into my jester style. We're gonna find a purse and maybe some sunglasses.
If you could choose between any dream collab, who would you want to work with?
Rico Nasty. She used my song on one of her videos and I was like, what the freak? Yeah, I was gagged, city.
That is the accomplishment of a lifetime and achieving success. Like that is proof that the American dream is still obtainable.
Looking out for Fiend. It's coming out soon. And we got this fresh new fit on, because I'm out in New York. But I'm from Delaware, so I don't really know where I'm at. Hundreds of bands in my panties for fun. I want to fight so my hair in a bun.
At number 3, when it came out that rap superstar Gucci Mane was smacking his lips and tattletaling to the police, it should not have come to a surprise to anyone that knows him that this rat loves cheese and will pucker his lips and get to smacking them if police have any questions about a crime. Gucci Mane is a middle-class kid from the suburbs that dealt with bad addiction issues, and that is why he acted so reckless for a period of time. Growing up, Gucci Mane was an excellent student, and he graduated high school with a 3.7 grade point average, and he ended up attending Georgia Perimeter College, which is now part of Georgia State University. During his time in college, he majored in computer programming, and eventually he ended up transferring to Lawson State College, where he majored in poultry biology. Gucci Mane, whose real name is Roderick Davis, back in college, to the surprise of fans, was a member in the debate club, and he had accidentally left his ID during a heated debate, and the student who found it posted it to social media years later. Gucci Mane, who was in the prime of his rap career, did not want this to affect his image, so he lied and said that he got kicked out. But all the records show that he was actually a really good student that was involved in a bunch of different clubs on campus. During the infamous Young Jeezy beef, everyone saw him as a boogeyman because he claimed he caught a body and was free and able to rap about it. But the truth with that is that something else was actually the one responsible, and Gucci Mane was taking credit for someone else's work.
Gucci Mane was faking because he didn't kill Pookie Loc.
But
he didn't kill Pookie Loc. It's a whole nother who did that.
People say that too. He was like, "Are you surprised about what Gucci did? Are you gonna stop listening to him?" And Ant was like, "One, I'm not surprised, and no, this ain't gonna change his music for me." This been told way back in the day on some random ass interview.
Yeah, he did in an interview when he was like, "If it's only this kind of like a detective. It's still got a motive for trying to rob me."
Like he wasn't even carrying it right to begin with.
This is why nobody should have been surprised that he went running to the streets about Pooh Shiesty after he got robbed. Gucci Mane has always been a good suburban kid that is not really from the streets. It's unfortunate that he had to deal with some severe mental health and addiction issues over the years, which led to the erratic behavior we saw all over the internet during his prime. If you are dumb enough to try to rob your boss at gunpoint in a recording studio full of cameras, then you deserve whatever repercussions come your way. Shout out to Gucci Mane for being an entertainer and college student that came up with a plan to get rich, and he tricked all of you guys into believing his raps. At number 2. When thinking of the most legendary snitches and undercover informants, one of the first rappers that comes to mind is hip-hop superstar T.I. T.I. stands for tip because this law-abiding citizen goes the extra mile and is always giving tips to police to help put criminals in jail. Shout out to Tip for giving all those tips to police to help clean up our streets.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? Some people call me Tip, but this is about another kind of tip that can help our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, and our fathers help get the perpetrators who commit crimes against them off the streets. All you gotta do is call Crime Stoppers Atlanta. Tips can be anonymous, and there's even a reward. The number to Crime Stoppers Atlanta is 404-577-8477. That's 404-577-TIPS.
Tip has been giving tips to police for years. This law-abiding citizen is a great man that has been doing all he can to clean up the streets of Atlanta.
34K.
Mm-hmm.
You recognize who that is?
Yeah, that's Phil. Oh, that's his body.
And 34A.
Yeah, that's the entry room.
This is just Tip doing what he does best, giving tips to police, and I thank him for it. Believe it or not, Tip is the #1 ranked informant in all of Atlanta.
And that's a picture of Falon with the bullet hole in his head.
Yes, it is.
And that's the bullet hole that you described to the jury as being at his temple on the left side.
Yeah.
How did Falon's family find out about his death?
I told him. I called his mom first, then I told his cousin. I told his little girl.
Being the tipster that he is, as soon as a crime occurred, Tip couldn't help himself and started calling everyone he knew and told them exactly what happened.
How old was his little girl?
His daughter was 4 years old at the time. 5 years old at the time.
And how did you tell his daughter that her father was dead?
He's in a better place and he won't be coming back. And I told him how much he loved her.
And how did you tell his mom that her son was gone?
Well, first I apologized. I apologized because, you know, I felt that, you know, all of those rounds were fired for me.
All I gotta say for Tip is, keep up the good work. Tip, keep being the tipster that you are and keep putting these criminals behind bars, because nobody deserves to grow up without a father.
You know, in my opinion. So I apologized to her at first, and then I told her what happened to the best of my knowledge, and I told, you know,
Hopefully this will inspire more tipsters out there in the streets like Tip to help tip the police and fight crime. At number 1, we look at the number 1 cringiest gangbanger from the entire city of Chicago, a young man who goes by the name Ayo KD. He became viral after he flew all the way out to Hamilton, Ohio to try and earn some gangster points by punking the most harmless rapper of all time, Slim Jesus.
Yeah, we just touched down in the interview.
Unfortunately, it appears that Ayo KD never learned the English language as a child, and he still struggles with pronunciation.
In the interview, doing all that goofy, yo, the ducky, yo, taco, you okay? Ohio, where you at? Where you at? Man, if you watching this video, tag it right now, man. Shut it so you can see it here, man. We really out here, you feel me? Stupid. Really out here. No shirt rocking, man.
As Ayo KD's friend brags and starts flexing about the fact he is not wearing a shirt.
No shirt rocking, man.
They stand outside for hours and yell on their phone as they scream at their phone as they stand around with nothing to do in the middle of Hamilton, Ohio.
Don't think it ain't out here, though. On my mama. No, look. No shirt, none of that. Weekend on them. I don't need no shirt. I don't need no shirt. My shooter with me, all that shit. Don't get shot, dummy. Thought I went down here. You really down here, man. Well, we had 3.
Not long after trying to bully Slim, his life takes a really unfortunate turn for the worse. Karma sets in, and his girlfriend ends up leaving him. And he posts one of the most embarrassing videos of all time to try and win her back.
I miss you so much. Okay, you can blast this on the internet. All that shit, I just miss you. And I swear to God, ain't somebody help me. I was just in the studio, you were ass ready, I was ready. You were just doing me wrong, yeah, I didn't know what to do.
His bad karma really starts catching up with him after feeling like the toughest man in the world and going after Slim Jesus, who he feels is a weak target and that he can bully with no repercussions because he knows Slim won't stand up for himself. A couple of real gang members in Los Angeles jump him and rob him of his chain not long after. But unfortunately for him, it does not end here. This man continues getting jumped over and over again. After dissing 6ix9ine when he goes to New York, a couple of 6ix9ine's goons roll up on him and he gets jumped.
Get off him, bro! Get off him, bro! Oh, God.
Hey, yo, KD, toss F Treyway. Hey, G. We ain't doing nothing over here. Ain't no F Treyway, nothing over here. We got new 6ix9ine. We real Billy over here. Real Billy over here. Over here, though, hoes. We real Billy over here. Get back, bro. We real Billy over here.
Bro, you better chill, bro.
Next, he buys a new chain and gets that robbed and taken from him in Chicago.
Yeah, hey, KD, show that face. Give me this chain. Give me this chain. Yeah.
After not learning his lesson, he keeps dissing and then gets robbed again in Chicago.
I'm gonna show y'all these Chicago rappers. Not really as tough as they say they is. Everybody's gonna talk. Everybody gonna talk. Cause I'm not on that. I ain't on that with you. Listen, stop talking. Stop talking. Bro, hey, take tone, stop. Shouty, stop. You don't know me. Well, I'm gonna introduce you to me. I'm not a rapper. I'm a street. Don't play with me. Alright? Keep my name out your mouth.
I ain't never say your name.
Keep Reckless Renegade out of your mouth. Say Reckless Renegade. I'm keeping Reckless Renegade out of my mouth. Say I'm keeping Reckless Renegade out of my mouth. Say it to the people.
I'm keeping it out. You know.
Don't call Reckless now because y'all ain't want to call Reckless then. Now you want to call Reckless now.
Gotta call Reckless.
Nah, say Chief Makey, ho.
Nah, this call.
Say Chief Makey, ho.
Call Reckless. Call Reckless.
Yeah, folks.
Chief Makey. Yeah, y'all. Yeah.
Say Chief Makey, ho.
Alright.
Say Chief Makey.
Chief Makey, yo.
Chief Makey. Nah, these shorties ain't gonna play with you. I will go broke on the don't play with on the gas, boy. You better pray after his phone. Don't answer his phone. I'm yelling at him.
Hey, what now?
Let you know right now.
On their mouth to folks.
What's internet? What's in, G? What's in? Don't beat in, boy. Don't play with me, boy.
Who caused
Don't
that?
do no more ZTVs. All that. Don't do no more of it. No more of it. You want to keep it in the street? We don't keep it in the street.
Hold on, my mama grade, Jojo grade, bro. Ain't no grade, bro. Ain't no gun. I don't do none of that, bro. On my son, bro. That's the key.
On my kids, they not finna take it.
Hey.
I was gonna put Regis on the phone.
After clowning Slim Jesus for having a job now in 2025, this man is completely homeless and relying on his friends to pay for his motels. Otherwise, he has nowhere to stay. Wouldn't it be nice to have a real job? The same thing you were talking down on.
My boy got me a hotel room. Shout out Violetta. It's me. Any building. Got my own shit. Appreciate you though, bro. For real. Yeah, we got bathroom. Check it out.
If you're going to want to get a job, first thing you're going to have to do is pull up those pants. How do you even walk like that?
Couple months. I gotta start from somewhere, bro. Got the child. TV. I'm just only thinking about it now.
Really quick, guys, before we get to the next section, if you enjoy this content, stop what you're doing, drop a like, hit that follow button, and leave a comment. It really helps small creators such as myself to make a little extra money to help pay for my kids in this rough economy. In this next section, we look at former active gang members and rap superstars that made it big and blew through all their money. At number 5, in 2015, Fetty Wap was untouchable. He became the first rapper in history to have his first 4 singles chart in the top 10 at the same time. Between Trap Queen and My Way, he was the most in-demand artist on the planet. At his peak, with shows, merch, and platinum plaques, he was worth about $17 million, and he famously carried around stacks of cash and bought a fleet of luxury cars and bikes for his whole crew. Fetty's spending was legendary and reckless. He spent $2 million in a single year just on clothes and jewelry. He also dropped millions on luxury rentals and a massive car collection. But the real money pit was his generosity. He was reportedly giving out thousands of dollars to friends and family every single week. By 2017, the hits stopped coming as fast, but the spending didn't slow down. Without a new Trap Queen to refill the bucket, his millions started to vanish. Fetty Wap finished the year with a net worth of $12 million. He had a significantly smaller net worth than he had the year before, but he was still riding high. By 2021, the music money had slowed to a trickle, and his legal troubles began to mount. He was arrested on federal drug charges, which meant massive legal fees that cost him hundreds of thousands of dollars. While he was fighting his case, he wasn't able to tour or make money. By 2023, he was sentenced to 6 years in prison. Being behind bars meant he couldn't do club appearances or shows, his 2 biggest ways to make cash. His value dropped toward zero as the bills kept coming and the income stopped. This was a rough year, and he finished the year with a net worth of $2 million. Fetty Wap was released from prison in early 2026. He stepped back into a world where his old hits still get millions of streams, but he had almost no liquid cash left. He immediately started working on his comeback album Xavier to try and rebuild what he lost. He's open about the fact that he lost millions by not being smart with his money the first time around. As of May 2026, Fetty Wap is starting over. He is still extremely famous and extremely talented, and he still has the ability to do great things with his career. His current net worth is around $3.5 million, and let's hope he can get everything back on track. At number 4, in the mid-2000s, Young Buck was a superstar. As a lead member of G-Unit, he was selling millions of albums and touring the world. Between the jewelry, the cars, and the massive payouts from his label, he was living a life of luxury and was sitting on a net worth of roughly $10 million. He was the king of Nashville and was spending money like it would never run out. By 2008, things started to crumble. A massive public beef with 50 Cent got him kicked out of G-Unit, which effectively cut off his main source of income. Without the big checks coming in, his expensive lifestyle became impossible to keep up. He stopped paying his taxes and his bills began to pile up. By the time he realized the money was drying up, a huge chunk of his value had already disappeared into legal fees and unpaid debts. His addiction started to affect his work. He wasn't just buying drugs, he was paying for the lifestyle that came with them. He was flying people out and paying for bottles and pills for his entire circle. This party budget grew until it was costing him nearly $50,000 a month. Since he was no longer getting big checks from G-Unit, he started dipping into his savings just to stay numb. This is when the millions started to look like thousands. He ended the year with a net worth of $4.2 million. In 2010, the taxman officially came to collect. The IRS raided his home, seizing his jewelry, his recording equipment, and even his furniture to pay off a massive tax bill. Facing millions in debt to the government and other creditors, he was forced to file for bankruptcy for the first time. He went from owning a mansion full of riches to seeing his personal belongings auctioned off to the highest bidder. As you can imagine, this was extremely embarrassing for a flashy rapper who was still trying to keep up an image to impress his fans. In 2010, the money wasn't the only thing he was losing. His health was failing, and the IRS raid mentioned earlier took away the things he bought to hide his pain. He eventually titled an album The Rehab to reflect his struggles. But rehab isn't cheap. High-end facilities can cost $30,000 to $50,000 for a single month of treatment. The 2020s brought more trouble. In 2025 and 2026, his legal issues were still tied to substance abuse. A judge recently ordered him to complete a mandatory alcohol and drug assessment because his old habits were still showing up in his legal cases. Every time he gets arrested or has a violation, he has to pay more for lawyers and court-ordered programs. These hidden costs of addiction have kept him from ever building his wealth back up. He now has a net worth of only $10,000, and he is a prime example of the effects of addiction and long-term substance abuse. At number 3, to the public, the story of Michael Stevenson, known as Tyga, was a blueprint for the American dream. At his absolute commercial peak in 2014, his estimated net worth sat at a high of $12 million. He was the man and was living a luxury lifestyle consisting of 6-figure monthly rentals in Malibu and a rotating fleet of Ferraris and Instagram models. While it might have looked cool on the outside, the reality was that Tyga was spending much more money than he was making. And while, for a while, he was on top of the world and burning through money like a Kardashian, unfortunately for Tyga, this was not sustainable. By 2015, the cracks started to show. He was living in luxury, but he wasn't actually paying for it. He got sued by his landlord for nearly $500,000 because he stopped paying rent and left the house a mess. This happened over and over again with different houses. He was moving from one mansion to the next, staying until the judge forced him out. Between the unpaid rent and the legal fees, his value started to drop fast. With all that being said, he still had a lot of money, and during this time his net worth was around $11 million. 2016 was the year he really started to crash and burn, and all of his terrible spending habits started to go public. Because he wasn't paying the monthly notes on his cars, the banks started taking them back. He lost a $200,000 Bentley and a $1 million Lamborghini in the same year. His $270,000 Ferrari was towed away while he was literally at a car lot trying to buy a Bentley to show off for his ex-girlfriend Kylie Jenner. When you lose over $1 million in cars in 1 year, your net worth takes a massive hit, and he ended the year with a net worth of $9 million. In 2019, his spending had gotten so out of control that the government stepped in. The IRS hit him with a bill for $2.3 million in unpaid taxes, and if he didn't pay it, he was going to go to jail. By 2023, that bill grew by another $1 million. When you don't pay the government, they add late fees and interest that make the debt grow every single day. By the time 2023 rolled around, he owed the government almost $8 million. They started taking the money directly from his song royalties before he could even touch it. At this point, the bills were catching up, and he could no longer afford his extravagant lifestyle, and he finished the year with a net worth of $1.8 million. Today, the math is simple. Even though he still makes money from things like social media and club appearances, he owes way more than he owns. Between the back taxes, the old rent judgments, and the unpaid car loans, his total debt has climbed over $10 million. Since he doesn't have enough cash to pay it all off, he's technically in the red. He's still famous, but he's basically working just to pay off the ghost of his old lifestyle. He wasted all his money trying to impress his ex-girlfriend Kylie Jenner, and unfortunately for Tyga, it got him nowhere. At number 2. In the early 2000s, Nelly was one of the biggest stars on the planet. His first album, Country Grammar, went diamond, meaning it sold over 10 million copies. Between his massive tours, his Apple Bottoms clothing line, and being a co-owner of an NBA team, he was sitting on a massive net worth of roughly $40 million. He was a superstar in the face of the Midwest, and the money seemed like it would never stop flowing. As the 2010s rolled in, the hits didn't come as easily, but the superstar expenses didn't change. Nelly was still living the high life, which cost millions every year in upkeep, travel, and payroll for his crew. By 2014, while he was still a household name, his liquid cash, the actual money in his bank account, began to drop significantly. He wasn't broke yet, but he was spending more than he was bringing in from music, and he finished the year with a net worth of $25 million. 2016 was the year the floor fell out. The IRS hit Nelly with a massive tax lien of $2.4 million. It turned out he hadn't been keeping up with his federal taxes for years. On top of that, the state of Missouri hit him with another bill for $150,000. When the news broke, his fans actually tried to stream him out of debt by playing his old hits on loop, but the math was too big for Spotify streams to fix. He had to start selling off assets and taking every gig possible to pay the government back, and he finished the year with a net worth of only $5 million. Between 2017 and 2024, the financial hits kept coming. Nelly faced several lawsuits and legal battles that cost him millions in settlements and lawyer fees. Every time he made a comeback on reality TV or a country music crossover, a huge chunk of that check went straight to the IRS or his legal team. By the time 2025 hit, the massive fortune he built in the 2000s was almost entirely gone, spent on fixing the mistakes of his past. Nelly ended up finishing the year with a net worth of $2 million. As of May 2026, Nelly is still working hard to stay afloat. He recently sold a large portion of his music catalog to get a quick influx of cash to clear his remaining debts. While he still lives comfortably compared to most people, the $40 million empire is a thing of the past. He's a prime example of how even a diamond career can be wiped out if you don't stay on top of the tax man. And he currently has a net worth of $1.5 million. At number 1. Around 2010 and 2011, Waka Flocka was the loudest name in rap. With no hands and hardened to paint playing everywhere, he was pulling in millions from shows and features. At this point, between his music success and his spot in Gucci 1017 crew, he was worth about $7 million. Waka has been open about the fact that during his early years, he was heavily into drugs, especially lean and pills. He admitted to spending thousands of dollars a week on his habit. Beyond just the cost of the drugs, he was paying for a huge entourage to party with him. When you're dropping $5,000 a week on substances and another $10,000 on club tables and lifestyle costs, you're burning through over $750,000 a year just to stay high. By 2013, the non-stop spending and missed opportunities started to eat into his savings. And because of that, he finished the year with a net worth of $5 million. The middle of the 2010s was rough. He had a major falling out with Gucci Mane and legal battles with his label. Without the big machine behind him, the expensive drug habit became a huge weight. He wasn't just losing cash, he was losing focus. Between unpaid taxes and the high cost of his addictions, he hit a low point. He realized that if he didn't stop, he was going to end up with nothing. He decided to go vegan and get sober, but the financial damage from years of partying was already done. He finished the year with a net worth of $3.5 million. Unlike some other rappers, Waka actually managed to turn it around before hitting zero. In the early 2020s, he stopped chasing the party lifestyle and started focusing on business. He invested in real estate, started a vegan brand, and leaned into reality TV. Even though he wasn't making no hands money anymore, he was keeping what he made. By 2025, his smart moves helped him stop the decline, but he's still not back to that original peak because of the millions he spent on the lifestyle years ago. As of 2026, Waka Flocka is a rare success story of someone who almost went broke but caught himself. He estimates that he spent millions on drugs and fake friends in his 20s. Today, his current net worth is around $7 million. In this next section, we look at active black gang members that are either currently active or were once active that ended up catching a body. At number 5, this next evil Crip, whose legal name is Michael White, is as despicable a human being as you will find on this planet.
The DeKalb County 5th grade teacher now in custody, charged in the murders of 2 children.
This evil Crip was a thug hiding in plain sight. Since he went to college, Michael White was intelligent and got a job as a 5th grade teacher. While he might come off as a good guy and a well-spoken brother, the reality was he was living a double life and gangbanging on the side. He was a high-ranking Crip that used his clean-cut image to help him get away with crimes. He was a big-time dealer in the area that was making thousands of dollars a week, and he was rarely ever pulled over or investigated by police. And because of that, he thrived in the hood and was able to lay low and get away with his crimes for years, all because of his clean-cut appearance.
It appears Michael White was living a double life. Michael White is a member of the Crip Street Gang and killed an 11-year-old girl and her 15-year-old brother. These arrest warrants we obtained today named the teacher as a gang member.
Months after the shooting, White started as a paraprofessional with DeKalb County Schools. He became a 5th grade teacher in August of 2017.
There is no hope for my community if we keep hiring Crips and Bloods to teach our kids.
DeKalb school officials tell 11 Alive White passed 2 background checks with no signs of a criminal history.
He intentionally caused the death of 2 children by shooting them. Just despicable. They're cowards.
The children were caught in the middle of gang violence. 11-year-old Tatiana Coates and 15-year-old Davion Coates were murdered during a shooting inside a Jonesboro home on October 22nd, 2016.
After one of the younger members got his blicky jacked from him at a party, it was on site. A group of older gang members began driving all throughout the city with the hopes of finding the culprit so they can get their lick back.
Gang members went into this home looking for another 15-year-old who was staying here.
A grown man like this beefing with a 15-year-old is embarrassing and clown behavior.
The 15-year-old had stolen a gun from the gang, knew retaliation was coming, and ran away before the shooting.
The gang wanted their weapons back.
The arrest warrants released today show another child inside the home survived.
It takes a special kind of evil for a grown man in his mid-30s to be shooting at kids with no regard for human life. That is some deplorable behavior and truly evil at its core.
And helped the GBI make this sketch of one of the men involved. The warrants detail members and associates of the Crips criminal street gang, saying the sketch showed Mike.
Oh man, they did my boy Mike dirty. That is a face only a mother could love.
Michael White, a member of the Crips. The DeKalb County School District confirms White was a 5th grade teacher at Tony Elementary, but has been removed from his position.
Why was he working there in the first place? How do you accidentally hire a high-ranking Crip?
A member of the Crips said White was one of the shooters responsible for the deaths of Davion and Tatiana Coates. A different member of the Crips said White and other gang members went to the scene of the crime on October 22nd, 2016, with the plan to physically harm the people inside this home.
Shout out to these Crips for snitching. You can always count on gang members to start smacking those lips when they are facing a lot of time in prison, and this group of Crips did not disappoint.
And the arrest warrants name a second gang member who is still wanted for the murder inside the Clayton County home.
His arrest warrant says he caused the death of Davion and Tatiana by shooting them.
Regardless of the fact that those young men with underdeveloped brains were in a gang, this is a tragedy and should have never happened. That is an evil 30-year-old man beefing with kids. My prayers and condolences go out to the family, friends, and loved ones that had to see these young men buried before they ever had the chance to reach their potential. At number 4,
This case, now a nationwide search involving federal, state, and local partners.
The search is intensifying for an alleged member of the Blood Street Gang.
Investigators say this man, Raymond Campbell, who's accused of murder, has been on the run for nearly 2.5 years.
He's accused of tracking down a man and murdering him in the middle of a neighborhood.
And his believed gang affiliation may be helping him elude law enforcement.
Ramon Campbell was the definition of a hood trophy. Everyone in his section loved and respected him for all the destruction he has caused against his rivals. He was a terror in the streets and was responsible for countless shootings. This evil man lived and breathed gangbanging and destruction.
October 14th, 2020, Hagerstown, Maryland. A man is found lying face down on a sidewalk.
Being the most respected member from the gang meant there was a lot of pressure on Ramon Campbell to live up to his reputation, and as a result he felt the need to constantly prove himself, and that is why he was still going on drills and catching bodies all the way into his mid-30s.
Think this murder was gang-related? Officers respond.
He had a gunshot wound to his head.
Make a gruesome discovery. The victim was dead and had multiple gunshot wounds, led them to 5 individuals, including 35-year-old Raymond Campbell.
As we keep seeing over and over again with gangs like the Bloods and the Crips, when police pull them in for questioning and they're facing decades in prison, Most gang members will get to smacking those lips to police to save themselves, and that is exactly what happened to Raymond,
who has been on the run for more than 2.5 years. Investigators believe Campbell may have fled Maryland to San Francisco, California, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, or even Florida.
This terrible police department has allowed this dangerous and evil individual to live his best life. The fact that he is free and kicking it with the homies while the family of the victim is mourning is an indictment against the Baltimore Police Department.
Do you feel his gang affiliation has helped him elude law enforcement?
He's going to have an extensive support network, and that would be a good reason as to why he's been able to avoid apprehension.
You've got to be a joint and highly respected in the hood for people to harbor you while you are on the run for a body.
With arrests for attempted murder, armed robbery, assault, and drug distribution, Campbell, investigators say, has a criminal history that dates back nearly 20 years.
This grown man has shown again and again that he has no regard for human life. With a criminal record like he has, the fact that he was free and able to take a member of the black community away from his family is a tragedy, and why we cannot keep letting these gang members off with a slap on the wrist.
A believed gang member with a history of violence, a fugitive, now wanted for murder.
So this individual should be considered armed and dangerous. It is absolutely in the interest of public safety that we take him into custody.
My prayers and condolences go out to the family, friends, and loved ones of the young man that lost his life. Hopefully justice will get served. At number 3, Darius Tyson is the highest-ranking blood in all of North Carolina. This evil man, who is responsible for multiple murders, has an insane amount of power and leverage even from behind bars.
Durham man is the #1 blood gang member in North Carolina.
Ladies love clout even behind bars. And when you have a name that rings bells like this guy, women will risk their careers and freedom to get a little action.
He is accused of getting several jail workers pregnant and coordinating drug deals with an illegal cell phone right from his jail cell.
Darius Tyson had been in the Durham jail. Now he's in Central Prison after the allegations of having sex with workers here.
Even though he is an evil man that has no regard for human life, can you blame the man? If you have ladies throwing it at you and you're doing life for a body, it feels like you have nothing to lose. My only problem with the whole situation is something is clearly up with Bro's pullout game. Spraying and praying with a guard is diabolical.
3 women face charges related to actions that investigators say involve inmate Darius Tyson.
This evil man has way too much riz. Come on, Darius. Tyson leaves some ladies for the rest of us.
Today in court, he was trying to get his $1.25 million bond reduced. The judge said no. A detention officer and a nurse working at the jail are charged with having relations with him.
Bro was cracking the whole jail. I feel bad for their husbands. On top of the lives he took, this evil man ruined countless happy marriages.
Another detention officer is charged with bringing him a phone. In court, Tyson's attorney, Daniel Meyer, tried to argue for a bond reduction, claiming his client is a victim. Prosecutor Mary Jude Darrow claims Tyson admitted to being the highest-ranking blood gang member in the state.
Gotta flex your rank on these judges, even if it ends up costing you the rest of your life in prison. You still gotta flex on them and let it be known that you are the #1 guy.
My understanding in speaking with one of the rank over the jail that there were on the phone, they were able to verify him setting up drug transactions and money drops.
She says he used his influence even from jail to coordinate drug deals from the phone that was illegally brought to him. The 2 women he's alleged to have had sex with in jail got pregnant.
Way to mess up a good thing for yourself by being reckless. You didn't learn your lesson the first time you decided to keep spraying and praying and got a second girl pregnant. That is some ignorant behavior.
WRAL Investigates found the nurse, Laren Burnett, seemingly showed no remorse, telling the board she would do it again.
I don't know what it is about this man, but he makes the ladies go absolutely crazy.
What is the Darius Tyson that you know as his mom?
He's an artist, meaning he's a rapper.
I hate to break it to you, Ma. There is a big difference between an artist and a rapper.
He's a nice guy, nice looking, very charming, you know, and that's it.
Darius Tyson was previously convicted in a 2010 murder. Now he's in custody for a different murder.
Don't let the good looks trick you. This is a seriously evil man with multiple bodies under his belt. He was a known stepper in the streets and was terrorizing my community. and was putting countless innocent brothers and sisters' lives at risk because of his obsession with firearms.
Accused of killing Sean Burton in 2022.
Instead of acknowledging the pain, this man, who is the self-proclaimed #1 ranked blood in North Carolina, has caused his mother wants to make excuses for him. And this is what she has to say.
Durham County, they have it out for him. And I can say that with all my heart.
At number 2, Jerome McNeil is one of the most powerful men in the streets. He is a high-ranking blood gang member that is both extremely evil and extremely respected in the hoods of Detroit.
A Detroit gang member with a long criminal history is terrorizing the east side of Detroit.
He's a known gang member. He's affiliated with the Blood Gang.
Jerome McNeil is 31 years old. He's 5'6", 135 pounds, with dozens of tattoos. In and out of prison, McNeil just skipped a trial for drugs and guns, adding another charge, this time for choking his pregnant girlfriend.
This evil blood had the keys to the city in his back pocket. He was a general in his gang that was sending youngsters on crash-out missions, and he was directly responsible for causing a lot of the bloodshed in the city. Because of that, police had it out for him and were willing to do whatever it takes to put this evil man behind bars.
Jerome McNeil is a documented member of the Bloods, a gang responsible for heinous crimes across the country.
And he's also charged with felonious assault for choking his pregnant girlfriend.
Detroit fighting crime, police say, at the hands of gang members like Jerome McNeil.
This guy's wanted for multiple felony warrants.
McNeil goes by Lil J or Blood J, and the marshals say they need your help to find him.
Don't get it twisted, guys. This is not the same as Lil J, the zesty disciple from Chicago that was bending over and getting his back door drilled. Jerome McNeil is a different kind of driller and the kind of guy to whip out his blicky and fill an op full of slugs.
McNeil was scheduled for a jury trial last month on guns and drug charges when he racked up another charge in a vicious attack against his pregnant girlfriend.
He has several arrests for guns, weapons, drugs, you name it, he's been arrested for it.
A no-show for trial, now also wanted on probation violations, just released from prison, coming off a sentence of 10 to 19 years for weapons and theft.
Clearly, he did not learn his lesson the first time. After serving a 10 to 19-year prison sentence, he is still not able to become a productive member of society if he is choking out his pregnant girlfriend. Hopefully, the judge fries this evil man this time so he can never victimize another innocent civilian.
His criminal history is so extensive: guns, drugs, burglary, including an arrest for homicide in 2016.
This does not sound to me like a man that should be living in the free world. This evil blood gang member has already taken a life, and in all likelihood will do it again if the police department does not get him off the streets.
Right now, priority one for the marshals is getting McNeil back behind bars.
They're going to get a lot of support from their gang member friends.
Because of how dangerous this individual is and the power he has in the streets. The Detroit Police Department was terrified about what this evil man might be capable of, and they did all they could to get him off the streets.
We're going to really need the community to step up, be on the lookout. This guy's on the east side of Detroit, tattoos all over his neck. Easily recognizable tattoos. Somebody just needs to make that call and call in so we can resolve this. We need the viewer to call, take a stand, take your community back.
Not long after pleading for the public's help, Jerome gets arrested, and they get one of the most evil and powerful blood gang members off the streets.
Another one of Detroit's most wanted is off the streets and behind bars. U.S. Marshals tell us a viewer tip led to the arrest of Jerome McNeil.
When it comes to the streets, there is zero loyalty. If you put a little cash reward on someone's head and have an open phone line, your best friend, your baby mama, even your own gang members will turn you in for that little bit of extra cash.
Now he's facing probation violations and new charges. One of them is felonious assault.
At number 1. Jeffrey Harris Jr., better known as Bloodhound Lil Jeff, came up on the south side of Chicago. He wasn't the biggest rapper on the scene, but his name carried weight because of his reputation. Lil Jeff was associated with the Bloodhound Gang, an alliance connected to BDK sets like Drill City, Trap City, who they used to be cool with but are now beefing with in 400E. On Reddit and in drill conversations, his name is constantly tied to violence. A post on our hip-hop heads summed it up best. Bloodhound is a real gang. They're notorious for rumored body counts. Lil Jeff with 11, Q50 with 8+. From early on, people said Jeff was different. He wasn't just another kid in the streets. He was evil. One alleged incident stands out, and it shocked the entire city. According to multiple Reddit threads, Lil Jeff was believed to be the shooter behind the murders of 2 Innovation High School students in downtown Chicago. The rumor went even further. On social media, Jeff allegedly bragged that he had 10 hats, slang for 10 bodies, and that the last 2 were graduation caps, a sinister reference to the 2 school kids. This claim horrified the community. It painted Lil Jeff not just as another gang member, but as an evil serial killer willing to target anyone, anywhere. Lil Jeff's music carried that same violent energy. His tracks and freestyles gave listeners the impression that he wasn't exaggerating. The internet only fueled the legend. YouTube titles, Reddit speculation, and drill commentary all agreed on one thing. Lil Jeff was a real stepper with real bodies under his belt. Tragically, on June 8, 2024, Lil Jeff's story came to a violent end. Around 5:14 p.m., while going on a mission, he rolled up on Trap City Rob and started dumping at him. But Trap City Rob was strapped up and ready for all the action, and he returned fire, and Lil Jeff was shot in the chest on the 6600 block of South Rhodes Avenue, and he tragically later lost his life. Lil Jeff finished his street career with 11 bodies and a cult-like following of fans who post about him every single day. In this next section, we look at active gang members that turn to illegal substances to try and cope with the trauma of being in the streets. At number 5, Louisiana rapper BG is a legend in these streets that unfortunately got hooked on hardcore substances.
Ma. BG.
After tweaking out and taking a bunch of hardcore substances, BG starts nodding off in the backseat of his car, and his friend who is pretending to be concerned starts filming BG looking like a J-Cat and uploads the video on the internet to embarrass him. After the video went viral, BG's ignorant girlfriend tries lying to everyone instead of taking accountability and acknowledging that her and BG have an issue.
Baby, us falling asleep in a car? And everybody reposting somebody sleeping in a car like that, let you know y'all don't got nothing going on. Because that's so exciting for y'all. Like, really exciting. How since when somebody sleeping in a car mean they don't?
I was born at night, just not last night, and you cannot say that these two are just sleeping. Look at the way he is nodding off when his buddy starts tapping his leg and calling his name. He gives no response. If he was just sleeping, like she said, he would have woken up when his buddy started poking at his leg.
Us falling asleep in a car? And everybody reposting somebody sleeping in a car like that, let you know y'all don't got nothing going on. Because that's so exciting for y'all. Like, really exciting. How since when somebody sleeping in a car mean they don't? And if I was on a broadcast that I don't give a fuck about y'all, don't nobody scare me like that. I don't hide nothing.
You don't hide nothing. It's such an obvious lie that you are having a tough time speaking properly and articulating your words.
I don't hide nothing. I don't hide nothing. Nothing.
Let's just hope these two who have nothing to hide can stop hiding from the truth and can put the pieces of their life back together so they can live a more productive and fulfilling lifestyle. At number 4, Atlanta rapper 24 Left Eye pops 30s like they're Tic Tacs, and he is known to go on Instagram live nod off for an hour and not say one coherent word. While most of us regular folks are out there working long hours and doing everything we can possibly do to provide for our families in this rough economy, this joker is nodding off in his kitchen without a care in the world. The guy is literally unable to speak but somehow still able to throw up gang signs that is comedy at its best. Even with his eyes closed, look at the form he showed with those gang signs. It's like his hands have a mind of their own. Hopefully this man will grow up and learn there is a lot more to life than sitting in your kitchen on a Wednesday at 3 eating 30s, nodding out and throwing up gang signs. Go get a job, find a wife, do something in your life that gives you meaning and purpose. Nodding out all day is not a good look, and you should focus less on your gang and more on getting your life together. At number 3, CML Lavish D, who also goes by the name Heavyweight. Hank is a legend in the streets of Sacramento. He first went mainstream because of a crazy beef he was in with the superstar Sacramento rapper Mozzie. During this beef, the south side of Sacramento turned into a war zone and countless bodies got dropped on either side. Because of this, heavyweight Hank has experienced a lot of trauma and he has turned to mind-altering substances as a way to self-medicate. In a viral Instagram live, he would later grow to regret. You can clearly see that he has a lot of demons that he is fighting. This is the side of the streets people don't like to show when you're involved with deadly beefs. The anxiety of not trusting anyone and having to look over your back everywhere you go can get overwhelming, and that is why people turn to substances as a way to self-medicate.
First and foremost, man, you ain't gotta worry about me, man. I don't fight 100 though, bro. I'm just tired of you.
His rivals are constantly trying him, and he is a wanted man in these streets. Because of this, he ended up moving to Houston, and while he might get lit like a Christmas tree, he doesn't want his girls to be on the same type of time, and he goes on Instagram Live and records a hypocritical video complaining about how much the girls in Houston drink.
Hey, man, check it out, man. Real life, man, from me to you, man. If you an alcoholic, I don't want no parts of it, man. You get what I'm saying? Like real life, so you feel me? If you an alcoholic, stay away from me, though. Like, you feel me? Like, I don't want nothing to do with no alcoholics, man. Y'all females should be ashamed of yourself, man. I've never, ever met so many 21-year-old alcoholics, though, man. You dig what I'm saying? It's like, y'all need help. Like, facts of life. I don't know if this is just going on in Houston, Texas, or everywhere else, or wherever. Y'all need help, man. Y'all is 21-year-old alcoholics, man. And it's sad, you feel what I'm saying? Like, y'all need help, man. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, y'all drinking liquor. Straight alcoholics, man. You feel me? If y'all ain't got no alcohol, y'all got an attitude. And I'm straight off that, man.
While this is not a bad message, he should definitely start to practice what he preaches. In this last clip, heavyweight Hank explains to the world why he would never go on the No Jumper podcast.
I'm 22. What's up with it, man? I got your DM a few days ago saying you want to get an interview in with me. I declined your offer respectfully, though. You know what I'm saying? I've been sitting back for these past few years, and I know you're the owner of No Jumper, but there's a lot of police y'all building, and I don't want to be associated with that. Y'all really not helping nobody's career, and they're using y'all platform to indict. I don't want to be associated with none of that, though, you feel me? No disrespect to you or none of your staff, but I just don't want to be associated with that. I'm a low-key type of dude. I stay out the way. I mind my business. I handle my business. I ain't trying to go viral. I ain't trying to have the police looking at me. I've been living a low-key life. I ain't trying to be famous. I ain't worried about none of that.
You would think that after going on the internet and making a statement like this that he wouldn't go on No Jumper, but not long after he made this statement, this happened.
Make something out of yourself. And Lavish D will pay your way.
That part.
Lavish D, No Jumper.
Banked up boys, man.
Appreciate you, man. Coolest podcast in the world. Check us out on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes. Like, comment, subscribe. NoJumper.com if you want to support. Appreciate you, G.
Bro is an incredibly talented rapper and, in my opinion, better than his rival Mozzie, but he needs to start to practice what he preaches. At number 2, Baltimore rapper YNE Sosa has a really bad pill problem, and over again he records himself on Instagram Live showing very concerning behaviors.
Tony, what y'all got going on? Stupid. I just get a big game in, waiting to get down with the get down. I'm busted. Do you see? Makes a little bit of that, yeah. Put a little bit of that, yeah.
I don't know what language he was just speaking there. All I can tell you guys is that was not English. You can hear the panic in his girlfriend's voice as she calls out for him in the distance. A lot of drill rappers have severe PTSD from going to war in the streets, and to cope with their severe mental health issues, too often than not, these young men end up turning to mind-altering substances to self-medicate.
Ready? Ready?
Huh? Why you always on too much? What's up? Huh? You got any more?
Shout out to his girlfriend for having his best interests and genuinely caring about him. A lot of women nowadays are just there for a good time, and when things get difficult, they dip. But with YNE Sosa, you can tell he has a good girl by his side that's going to support him at his lowest.
I got 5 on it, and let my free. And my mouth wet.
Let's Run It Back, Bro has some raw vocals on him. What a beautiful voice.
I got 5 on it, and let my free. And my mouth wet. I got 5 on it, and let my.
Hopefully this young man can get the help he desperately needs, because with a voice like that, he can go far in this music game. He reminds me of a young Michael Jackson with those beautiful vocals. At number 1. Stockton rapper EBK Young popped 5 perkies before going to the studio and got so intoxicated to the point he was unable to make any music.
Yeah, I'm saying he ain't never been here on time.
What did you just say there, sir? Can you please repeat yourself? All I caught was a bunch of mouth vomit.
Yeah, I'm saying he ain't never been here on time.
Wow, what an intelligent and well-spoken young man. This man is a wizard with his words. For everyone watching this video, this is a prime example of why there is nothing player about taking illegal substances and not being able to formulate a proper sentence with every word coming out your mouth, sounding like mouth vomit. That is not the best way to pick up ladies or get anywhere in life. There is nothing cool about getting this intoxicated. Hopefully, as this young man gets older, he will start to grow and make better decisions, because gangbanging and taking illegal substances all day is guaranteed to end badly. In this next section, we look at some of the most evil gang members that caught bodies. At number 5, there is street violence, and then there is pure, unadulterated evil. Most crimes have a twisted logic: retaliation, survival, or desperate attempts to fuel an addiction. But what happened in Chicago in September 2012 was something entirely different. It was the complete and total absence of human conscience. This individual was so evil to the point it is hard to even consider him a human being. Growing up in the rough streets of Chicago, a 23-year-old rapper and gang member, Kavmoney Wilson, who went by the rapper name Young QC, was obsessed with getting the validation of others. He was in a gang but was not fully accepted, and when the guys would be hanging out, drinking and playing pool, he was always the butt of the jokes. Young QC had no rank and no respect in his gang, and this horrifically evil man was willing to sacrifice his own biological mother to look cool and get the acceptance of gang members. His mother, Yolanda Holmes, did not just love her son, she worshipped him. She was a successful business owner who gave Wilson everything a child could ask for: a customized car, high-end clothes, and financial security. She did her absolute best to try and shield him from the harsh realities of the Chicago streets. But Wilson possessed a profound, dangerous narcissism. He was empty inside and was consumed by a desperate need to be feared and respected by the most violent gang members in the city. Because he lacked the courage to earn a reputation on the streets through actual gang operations, he decided to buy his way in. And the currency he used was his mother's blood. He was willing to do just about anything for clout. Before the horrific crime, he makes a YouTube channel under the name QC Works, and he posts some of the most cringy and embarrassing content imaginable, but still somehow gets over 100,000 followers.
Young QC repping Heat Squad. About to do this video to Omarion Wet. Like, subscribe, share your Facebook.
This Zest monster is as cringy and embarrassing as they get, and for whatever reason, this disturbed individual thinks this is how you rizz up the ladies. No grown man should be gyrating like this. Somebody definitely sprinkled a little extra sweetener in his tank. This man must be slurping up the same sugary Fruit Loops that Lil J eats every morning. Young QC is one sweet and sugary dude. To understand the sheer depravity of Kwame Wilson, you have to look at the cold corporate calculation that took place before a single weapon was ever drawn. Long before the horrific incident happened, Wilson had already stopped viewing Yolanda Holmes as his mother. To him, she was nothing more than a cash cow waiting to be liquidated. As a successful business owner and a deeply protective single mother, Yolanda had worked tirelessly to secure her only son's future. She established a healthy savings account and maintained 2 separate life insurance policies. Being her only child, Wilson was the sole beneficiary of her entire estate. He knew that the moment she passed away, a tax-free death benefit of at least $90,000 in cold hard cash would be legally funneled directly to him. For Wilson, a man that was empty inside and full of nothing but evil and hatred was still desperately craving clout, and $90,000 was his ticket to becoming the man in the streets. But he couldn't just wait for nature to take its course. He engineered a get-rich-quick scheme that required him betraying his own mother, the woman who gave him life. This horrifically evil individual had engineered a plan to kill his own mother for her life insurance payout. The planning was meticulous and chilling. Wilson knew that if he was anywhere near the scene, homicide detectives would immediately move their investigation onto him. He had to find a buddy that was stupid enough to take part in this crash dummy mission. And because it's Chicago, according to police reports, he was able to find multiple people that were willing to kill his mother. He needed proxies to do his dirty work. So he went to the hood and ended up recruiting a 22-year-old associate named Eugene Spencer to act as his gunman, promising him a massive cash payout from the upcoming inheritance. Next, in order to ensure a clean escape after committing the crime, he pulled in a 23-year-old female getaway driver named Loriana Johnson. Wilson didn't just hire the crew, he became the tactical coordinator of the entire plot. He weaponized his intimate knowledge of his mother's daily life. He provided Spencer with the exact address of Yolanda's high-rise apartment on West Montrose Avenue. He mapped out the layout of her complex, detailed her exact sleep schedule, and explained how to bypass security to catch her completely defenseless. Wilson took the ultimate step in his blueprint of betrayal. He handed the actual keys to his mother's home sanctuary directly to hood hitman he hired. The trap was set, the financial payout was mapped out, and Yolanda Holmes had absolutely no idea that the son she worshipped had just signed her death warrant. Because Yolanda Holmes was a responsible, successful business owner, she had carefully planned for her son's financial future. She had established 2 separate life insurance policies alongside a healthy savings account. Being her only child, Wilson was the sole beneficiary of her entire estate. The hitman then crept through the door, then silently crept upstairs, snuck into Yolanda's room, and according to police reports, in a horrific act of pure evil, he blew her brains out while she slept. The moment the hitman confirmed Yolanda was dead, the clock started ticking on Wilson's financial scheme. He exploited a critical loophole in the system: timing. Because banks and insurance companies do not automatically freeze funds unless a suspect is formally charged, Wilson rushed to collect the money while detectives were still processing the crime scene. Within mere weeks of his mother's brutal execution, Wilson successfully drained her savings and collected on both insurance policies. The total payout, at least $90,000 in pure cold cash. This pathetic man was blowing all of his cash either simping on girls that were out of his league or to boost the views on his trash YouTube channel.
I'm on a whole different level with this, man. I take this serious, man. So you can't put me in the same category. Yeah, man. About to go get this $1,000 out for the fans, man. Really, I'm gonna take out $20,000, man. Just to show people, you feel me?
This horrifically evil individual then starts blowing through the money like it's nothing, which shows just how little his loving mother's life meant to him. In his hands, this evil man flexes his mother's life, and then he throws it away like you would a piece of trash.
You feel me, man? I don't play no games. You feel me? I don't play no games, man. You know, I do this for real, bro. I don't got no problem with giving back, man.
What a generous guy for Mr. Wilson. His mom's life was worth a little bit of clout, and the worst thing about it is the fact that he only ended up gaining a couple thousand followers and 50,000 views in exchange for his mother's life.
I'm the only one out here with a show that's actually giving back, you feel me? And I got proof to show it, you feel me? Shout out to this fan I'm finna go slide on, man.
I don't know about you guys, you feel me, but I have a hard time trusting anyone that constantly says you feel me. We hear what you're saying, you feel me, but you don't have to check in every 5 words. You feel me?
You feel me, man? I don't play no games. feel me? I don't play no games, man. Back, you feel me? And I got proof to show it, you feel me? Back, you feel me? And shout out to this fan I'm finna go slide on, man. Finna take care of you.
This evil individual ended up getting caught, and he is now serving the rest of his life in prison where allegedly he is having a really rough time. You feel me? At number 4, in early 2020, the west side of Chicago had turned into a graveyard. A crew known as BTBG was locked in a deadly turf war that was moving too fast for law enforcement to track. By July, the tension boiled over into a series of back-to-back drive-bys, and so many bodies were getting dropped to the point funeral services had gotten backed up for weeks. On July 18th, a heavy blow landed right in BTBG's backyard. Angie Webster, known on the block as JJ, was targeted and gunned down on their home turf. He was a joint in his section, and when he passed, things got crazy. His boys' mentality was in get-back mode, and they started sliding back to back and were dumping at anything with a pulse that was walking around in rival territory. 6 days later, on July 24th, the set mounted a textbook get-back drill. Maris Crump, who went by 23, and an associate rode out to slide on their primary opposition, a ruthless set called Ghost Mob, deep inside the Austin neighborhood. Ghost Mob is primarily located in the Austin neighborhood, which is on the west side of Chicago. According to the data referenced, their territory includes the 400 block of North Springfield Avenue and extends near the intersection of West Chicago Avenue and North Springfield Avenue. The set is mostly focused on trapping and getting money, but they are known to get active if you mess with one of theirs. When 23 and his buddy pulled up with blickies ready to do damage, unfortunately for them, everything went south. Instead of catching Ghost Mob off guard, the hit instantly reversed on them. 23 was ambushed, shot, and killed right on the pavement. Within hours, a graphic mobile phone video flooded social media. Next, a Ghost Mob member takes the disrespect to the next level and films himself walking directly over 23's lifeless body while shouting taunts and disses into the camera, while police sirens wailed in the distance and family members cried for their lost loved one. This is the type of horrific evil that will turn a good kid into a monster, and that is exactly what happened to Kill Bill. The driver of the vehicle, which was Kill Bill's homie, luckily survived the shootout, but under Illinois' felony murder laws, he was slapped with a first-degree murder charge for his own partner's death because he participated in the crime that caused it, and he's been behind bars ever since. For Kill Bill, this was the hit that fundamentally altered his trajectory. He was sitting in a jail cell serving a 26-day bid when the news reached him. He had been planning to call 23 that exact night. Instead, when he finally reached his father, he was on the phone crying. That night, he got into multiple fights and started crashing out over the loss of his close friend. The pressure didn't let up. His rivals spun the block again on September 27th. Another main pillar of the block, Ernest James, known as Ghost or 22, was eliminated in a drive-by shooting. The losses tore the remaining crew apart, forcing a complete structural rebrand. They officially dropped the BTBG moniker and renamed the entire block GTG. They started going by the name Ghost Town Glizzy Gang, and they made a pact that from then on that they would be the aggressors and the ones drilling on Rivials. To cement the blood vow to his dead friends, Kill Bill went to a shop and got GTG inked in massive heavy block letters straight across his neck. With 3 of his closest friends gone in a single summer, Kill Bill's role on the west side shifted. The streets stopped looking at him as a regular block boy and began asking for him to become the stepper, and not long after he becomes the main man behind a brutal string of retaliation hits. But once again, before they could get any form of get back, they took another loss, and at this point it was a blowout. They were down 4-0 against their rivals. 2 days after Ghost, also known as 22, was buried, a 25-year-old Ghost Mob member named Lennell Fields Jr., known on the streets as Sumo, was standing on the 400 block of North Springfield Avenue when an unidentified shooter walked up and opened fire directly into his chest and left him on the asphalt. Tragically, Sumo died shortly after reaching the hospital. No one was ever cuffed for Sumo's death, but the blocks drew their own conclusions when word spread that Ghost Town was actively claiming credit in the shadows. It was 5-0 and was looking like the entire squad was going to be eliminated until 2 months later, after countless failed attempts, they finally had their first successful drill on their rivals. On November 27, 2020. In the early morning hours, Preston Kennedy, a 23-year-old known as Lil Marley from a rival faction called Richway, BBMG, was standing in a gas station parking lot on West Chicago Avenue. A black sedan silently pulled up to the pumps, a window rolled down, and a barrage of gunfire tore through the dark. Marley took a fatal round to the chest and died at the hospital. While the hit officially remains unsolved, local word kept pointing back to Kill Bill as the one responsible for the hit. The West Side War was moving too fast for CPD to control. Less than a week after Marley was killed, the beef spilled over to an entirely separate set called Fro Gang. Right after the beef started, according to the streets, Kill Bill was involved in a deadly hit. Nautica Banks, known as Goo, was riding in a vehicle with 3 friends through the Lawndale neighborhood. A dark blue Chevy Equinox intercepted them and started chasing them down, firing wild shots directly through their back window on Roosevelt Road. Desperate to escape the execution, the driver of Goo's car lost control at high speed and slammed violently into a parked car at the intersection of Roosevelt and Laramie, the whole time while being dumped at by a group of masked men. The impact was catastrophic. Goo and 2 young women in the vehicle, Keandria Richards and Tatiana Baker, were killed instantly. The shooters in the Equinox crashed their own getaway car a mile down the road and fled into the neighborhood on foot. The next day, a male in the car, a young man named Nautica Banks, also tragically passed away, and Kill Bill went straight to the internet to brag and celebrate the hit in a truly evil and sickening act showcasing the worst of humanity. A highly graphic video of the wreckage went viral immediately, showing the severe facial trauma Goo suffered from the impact. Members from Ghosts gleefully shared the video, and everyone in the set had jokes for days about the tragic incident. In 2021, the ugliest feud on the West Side had began taking place. It was the deadly back and forth between Ghost Town and Richway. The beef had crossed a line of no return when a Richway associate filmed a video of himself literally urinating on the grave of a dead Ghost Town member.
Was at one of my homies' funeral, and my homie dad is very bad one, quote unquote oppositions.
Opposite of time.
You know what I'm saying? So they like, okay, bet we finna pee on his grave.
As you can imagine, this crazy level of disrespect did not go over well with Kill Bill and his goons. On April 18, 2021, that over-the-top and evil disrespect met a horrific consequence. That same man laughing in the interview about his buddies urinating on the grave was a prominent Richway member named Tiller, who was sitting in the drive-through lane of a McDonald's on Roosevelt Road. In the back seat of his car was his 7-year-old daughter, Justine Pinky Adams. A silver Audi pulled up behind them. 2 gunmen jumped out with weapons raised and unleashed a relentless, close-range barrage of nearly 50 rounds into the vehicle. Tiller survived the ambush with minor wounds. His 7-year-old daughter was hit 6 times. The police didn't even wait for an ambulance. They threw her into the back of a squad car and raced to the hospital, but she was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. Kill Bill went straight to social media to laugh about the horrific incident, and as a result of his reckless and evil behavior, he got the attention of law enforcement. The public outrage over a child's death put massive heat on the West Side, forcing the police to move with everything they had. Within a week, they locked up 18-year-old Marion Lewis, known as Blood Gang Otto, an active, high-ranking member of Kill Bill's GTG set. Lewis led state troopers on a wild, high-speed chase, crashed on the freeway, tried to carjack a random civilian, and got into an active shootout with police before being cuffed. The Draco pistol found on his person was a ballistic match to the shell casings at the McDonald's drive-thru. 2 more GTG members, Demon Gordy, Glow, and Devontae Anderson, Moneybag, were tracked down and locked up as the primary shooters. Kill Bill was never legally tied to the execution of the child, but his name was permanently stained by the fallout. Tiller, the man who lost his daughter to the streets, eventually leaked incriminating text messages showing he had reached out directly to Ghost Town, telling Kill Bill and Otto to turn themselves in for the murder of his daughter. Kill Bill fired back publicly, branding Tiller a government informant for cooperating with the feds to bring down the GTG drivers responsible for the death of his daughter. Call it snitching, call it what you want. But as a black man, I am sick and tired of a tiny group of brothers responsible for the downfall of my community. Personally, I hope every active gang member goes to jail and serves whatever amount of time is necessary to come out a productive member of society. At number 3, in the Boerum Hill section of Brooklyn, the Gowanus houses aren't just public housing, they're a fortress. And from 2001 to 2010, that fortress had one undisputed ruler, Ronald Herron. To the world, he was Raw Diggs, a rising rap star with 60,000 followers and cosigns from the industry's elite. But to the feds, he was the leader of the murderous Mad Dogs, a set of the Bloods that turned Brooklyn into a battlefield. The legend of Raw Diggs began on June 16th in 2001 when he hunted and cornered a rival dealer named Frederick Brooks at 198th and Bond Street. He then took out his blicky and started dumping, and Frederick tragically lost his life at the scene. Raw Diggs was the prime suspect. 2 eyewitnesses picked him out of a lineup, but by the time the trial started, those witnesses were gone and had moved from New York to New Jersey and had gone into hiding. Raw Diggs got incredibly lucky and was able to walk free. When he came home, he became a new man with a body under his belt and the respect of the whole city. He thought of himself as the man the law couldn't touch, and he began behaving like there are no consequences and like he could get away with something like this again. As his rap career took off, so did the violence. Allegations surfaced of a chilling new tactic. To get close to targets who knew his face, Herron's crew reportedly utilized a drag disguise. Associates testified that hitmen would wear wigs, lipstick, and dresses to blend into crowds and bypass security. It was a cold, calculated move that defined his gang, the Mad Dogs' era of dominance. By 2008, Raw Diggs had become a tyrant and had complete power and control in the Gowanus and Wyckoff Gardens housing projects. Because of all that power that he had, it started making a lot of people jealous. Richard Russo, a local dealer, began openly questioning Raw Diggs' authority. Russo wasn't necessarily disrespecting him, but he was undermining his authority. And according to court testimony, Raw Diggs told his associates that if he ever got the drop on Russo, that he would bury him. On the night of May 9, 2008, Ronald decided to address the threat personally. He confronted Russo at 423 Baltic Street, the building where he lived. Raw Diggs then forced Russo into the building's elevator, and as soon as the doors closed, he started dumping, and Richard Russo tragically lost his life. He then immediately went into damage control mode to ensure this murder didn't land him back in a cell like the 2001 case. A member of Ronald's own crew, identified in court documents as Witness C, was present or nearby during the aftermath. To ensure his loyalty, Ronald handed him a significant amount of cash, essentially paying for his silence and his cooperation in staying away from the police. He also instructed another associate to lie to investigators about his whereabouts and his role in the incident. In November of 2008, according to police records, Raw Diggs' close partner and fellow gang member, George Meha, was shot 5 times during a dispute in the Wyckoff Gardens projects. The man identified by the crew as the one responsible was a rival gang member named Victor Zapata. Raw Diggs and his crew were reportedly furious. They even filmed a meeting while Meha was recovering in the hospital, footage that would later be titled Project Music and posted to YouTube. In the video, the crew discussed their next moves, which the feds later argued was the literal planning of a revenge hit. Almost exactly a year after Meha was wounded, Ronald caught up with Zapata. It was broad daylight in the courtyard of the Wyckoff Gardens housing complex. Raw Diggs walked him down, chasing Zapata through the courtyard while firing multiple rounds. Zapata was struck several times and passed away in front of a bunch of witnesses in the heart of the community. For years, it seemed like Raw Diggs had gotten away with multiple murders. However, when the FBI and NYPD launched their RICO investigation in 2010, they used Witness C, who we mentioned earlier, and other flipped associates to piece the story together. During the 2014 trial, the prosecution proved that the Russo murder was an act in aid of racketeering. They argued that Ronald killed Russo not just out of anger, but to protect the power, territory, and profits of the murderous Mad Dogs. Eventually, all 3 bodies caught up with him, and he is now serving life in jail. At number 2, T-Roy, born James Johnson, was one of O Block's most feared and respected members. Known on the streets as King Von's best friend, he became a central figure in Chicago drill culture, both as a soldier in the war with STL-EBT and as the subject of countless street rumors. While the official record is thin, in the streets and online, T-Roy's name is tied to multiple bodies, shaping his reputation as one of O Block's deadliest shooters. T-Roy grew up inside Parkway Gardens, better known as O Block. Small in size but quick with his hands, he earned a reputation early as someone who wouldn't back down. By his teens, He was already standing side by side with Vaughn and other O-Block members in their war against STL or EBT, Jarrow City, and other rivals. In drill music and street lore, his name carried weight, not because he rapped, but because he was in the field and a major problem for his rivals. T-Roy wasn't just another O-Block member, he was King Von's closest friend. Vaughn called him his twin, and multiple photos and videos show the two together constantly. In Vaughn's own songs and interviews, he made it clear, T-Roy was respected because he really put in work. This bond would later fuel Vaughn's music, as many of his most violent lyrics referenced missions and situations he allegedly shared with T-Roy. According to street rumors and online speculation, T-Roy is tied to multiple killings during Chicago's bloody gang wars. None of this is confirmed in official reports, but here's what the streets say. He is believed to be responsible for Stunna, a rival allegedly killed by O-Block, with the streets pointing to T-Roy as the shooter. They also claim he is responsible for Dirty Rel from Jarrow City. They say him and King Von are responsible for the hit that took the life of Modell, who was from STL EBT. Reddit users claim T-Roy accidentally killed an older man while targeting other rivals on a drill. And the last two bodies the internet claims he is responsible for are two rival gang members by the names Von Le Capone and Jay Munna. This brings his total body count to 7, which makes him one of the deadliest steppers in the history of Chicago. At number 1. Philadelphia drill doesn't always make national headlines. But in the streets, names like AR Ab and his OBH crew are legendary. At the center of that movement was Skinny Me, not the flashiest rapper, but the one the streets called the Muscle. For years, people said he was OBH's most feared enforcer, the one really catching bodies while others just rapped about it. In 2022, that legend was confirmed in court when he was convicted of multiple murders, 4 bodies in total, including the killing of a man named Jordy Saint. Skinny Me grew up in Philadelphia surrounded by the chaos of the city's street wars. He wasn't a chart-topping rapper, but his name was respected and feared in the underground. When he linked with AR Ab's OBH crew, his reputation skyrocketed. OBH was already notorious in Philly. Ab called himself the top goon, and Skinny Me was seen as his enforcer. From early on, the streets tied Skinny Me to violence. His reputation wasn't built on music, it was built on what people said he did outside the booth. OBH, original Block Hustlers, was more than rap. Prosecutors later described it as a violent organization that mixed drug trafficking with shootings. Even before his arrest, Philly blogs and YouTube channels whispered his name whenever a rival got dropped. The myth of Skinny Me was growing, and soon, the courts would say it wasn't just myth. In 2021, everything caught up to Skinny Me. He was arrested and charged with multiple counts of murder. Prosecutors tied him to 4 killings in Philadelphia. One of the victims was Jordy Saint, a man shot dead in the city's escalating violence. Court filings connected Skinny Me directly to Jordy's murder, and to 3 other victims whose names were not as widely reported in the press. By October 2022, word spread that he'd been convicted. The sentence was heavy, life in prison plus 25 years. For the streets, this was confirmation. The rumors about Skinny Me catching bodies weren't just talk anymore. The state said he was responsible for 4 murders. In this next section, we look at more confused wannabe black active gang members that are going through an identity crisis. At number 5, when thinking of all the most legendary Bloods, there is nobody out there that reps his set harder than James Harden. James Harden, who is a first ballot Hall of Famer and one of the best scorers of all time, has been repping the Bloods his entire career. Throughout his legendary career, Harden has been caught countless times throwing up Blood Gang signs on the basketball court. Bro is a big booze slugger and lives for the nightlife. Harden even had his jersey retired at a gentleman's club in Houston after he got drunk one night and blew through $1 million in one night throwing bills at dancers. When you look at the economy and see how much people are struggling, for someone to waste $1 million like it's nothing is evil and selfish behavior.
What's up, James? This one, I got you. Hey, what's your Halloween costume gonna be, bro? Don't you open up that window?
James Harden, the big bad Blood and king of the nightlife, has been caught leaving the club completely hammered by paparazzi countless times.
Hey, is Adidas still mad at you, James? Yeah. Hey, James, yo, what's up, bro? I just want to know, bro. What do you want to know? Adidas is about to cry.
As you can tell from the clip, James is extremely hammered and he comes off as the kind of guy that pre-games the pre-game.
Adidas is about to be amazing. Yeah. Swag! What was the whole beef about? Why was it? Yeah. What was the whole beef about? Why was?
Every time Harden hits the club and tries to pick up some baddies, he always has to bring a strap with him, and recently he got in trouble for having a blower outside a club at 3 in the morning.
James Harden has been arrested on a weapons charge. That is according to multiple reports, which say it happened early this morning in Houston, as authorities caught him with a handgun.
When you are a big bad blood like James Harden, you cannot take risks out here in the streets, so you always have to have your blower with you everywhere you go.
The 36-year-old NBA star was released on bond. It was apparently in plain sight, not being carried in a holster.
Since James Harden does not play any defense out there on the basketball court, he makes up for it in the streets where he is always playing defense and is strapped up and ready to defend himself. At number 4, we look at the most hated man on the internet. A 40-year-old man who goes by the name Adam22 that takes being cringy to the next level. Around 10 months ago, in the midst of an embarrassing midlife crisis, this degenerate decided he wanted to give rapping a try.
I'm not a podcaster. I'm an artist.
You're an entertainer.
I do it all. I'm a rapper.
During this embarrassing stage of his life, he started taking rap really seriously, and he actually thought he was going to blow up and become a famous rapper.
Flacco needs help with writing.
Flacco used to says that he's a rapper.
Because I don't want any of us to look bad. I want us to all be bringing our best foot forward, and to me that means, like, if we need a little bit of extra weaponry in the studio, we're gonna have like some top tier lyricists, or at least being willing.
This man started feeling himself so much to the point he started suggesting that his co-workers needed help with writing so that they could be on his level. During an extremely strange music cipher, he had a requirement that all of his co-workers do it shirtless, so that afterwards they can whip out some baby oil and whisper sweet nothings into each other's ears. Imagine how strange that must have felt, having your boss require you to be shirtless. For Adam22, over the past 10 years, his lifelong goal has been to get the validation of African Americans. In order to do so, he had completely changed the way that he talks and acts, and recently he has been acting like a Caucasian goon.
The 22ster, keep that fire on him. So when King Pill is doing all this, I'm starting to do the math in my head, and I start thinking, okay, so what's the line that needs to be crossed here in order for the 22ster to up blick on Cub? Now, in my head, what I established almost immediately was like, if he punches me, I'm pulling out and I'm gonna start shooting at him.
This might look like satire and a joke, but this guy is 100% serious. Imagine being in your 40s from New Hampshire and talking like this. His wife must be so embarrassed, and that sums up everything there is to know about this guy. At number 3, destined for a path of greatness, Ja Morant, through his first 3 years in the NBA, looked like a special talent that was destined to make the Basketball Hall of Fame. Unfortunately for Ja Morant, no matter how successful he got, there was something missing from his life. Even though he had money, power, and respect and was living a lifestyle most people dream of, he wasn't satisfied, and his life began to change as he got more and more obsessed with drill rap. As his obsession with drill rap grew, he began seeing himself as one of the rappers, and he started talking and carrying himself as if he was a gang member. Allegedly, Ja Morant ends up taking his fantasy world of being a gang member to the next level, and he uses his money and fame to get officially put on a small chapter of the Crips in South Carolina. After his official put on to the Rolling 60s Crips, he begins focusing less on basketball, and he starts putting all of his attention towards the streets. And because of this, he finds himself in trouble over and over again with the NBA.
You know, he's also been, accused of, threatening mall securities and
whooping kids,
getting in all types of trouble, man.
That's another one of them fake.
Because real gang members were not taking Ja Morant seriously, this suburban goon then decides to start waving around his straps to show everyone he is really about that life.
Memphis Grizzlies star Ja Morant has been suspended for a second time after once again appearing to flash a gun on social media.
This idiot, while riding around with one of his fellow gang members, decided to flash his blicky, which costed him millions of dollars in brand deals and lost salary.
The video circulated on Saturday night. It shows Morant with what appears to be a handgun while he's riding in a friend's car.
This man is working backwards instead of using your money and connections to get out of the hood. This misguided and ignorant young man is using his money to buy friendships so that he can be from the hood.
He got a $200 million contract.
Yeah, you got 200 million. We know it's a gun somewhere around you. If you ain't from the trenches, why do you get money and want to live like this where you from? And everybody that's in the trenches want to be like you.
According to the streets, Ja Morant has some rodent-like tendencies, and if the police ever apply pressure and drop a big old block of Swiss cheese in front of Ja, that he will get to smacking those chompers and tell police everything they need to know.
This trench life you trying to live, you can't say it wasn't your gun now. Oh, it wasn't even my gun in the video. So who gun was it, Ja? Ja that told him it wasn't his gun. I'd take the case for him though. It was my gun for sure. Give me $1 million, it was my gun. But you a suburban black kid, be a suburban black kid. Yeah.
That statement pretty much sums it all up. Be authentic to yourself, because when you try to be something you are not, it shows, and you look like a clown. At number 2, we look at the newest blood to get officially sanctioned and put onto a black street gang, a chubby white boy from Utah who goes by the street name Lil Brazy. The Caucasian gummy bear demon wants to be black so bad, he started lying like Pinocchio and started claiming on podcasts that his dad was black.
You like white, or is it mixed race, or is it predominantly black?
Me and my dad black.
Oh, your dad black?
Yeah, so my whole family.
The Caucasian gummy bear demon then goes on to explain how not only his dad is black, but also his whole family is, which is literally not possible. Even if his dad was just a quarter black, he would have some African American features. And this chubby white boy is Caucasian. As they get, bro, is 100% vanilla wafer, a bag of milk. People on Reddit found an old photo that he posted back in the day with his family. And as you can tell, this man lies more than Pinocchio after his wife caught him cheating.
And my biological father.
Oh, so you have black?
Yeah.
Okay. I would
not have known that.
Can we get a 23andMe or something?
Yeah.
I would not have known that.
I was going to ask earlier which of your parents was black and which was white as a joke.
Unfortunately for Lil Brazy, a lot of us grew up watching him on TV, and it is very clear that both his mom and dad are fully Caucasian. But I guess if you're living in Utah, this might be the closest you'll get to being black, so maybe Buddy wasn't capping all the way. Despite being a bland bag of milk with no seasoning, the Jelly Belly demon sticks with the story that he is black and explains why he constantly drops the N-bomb in his music.
Most people don't know. I didn't even know that you're, part black, but there's a lot of criticism about your use of the N-word and things like that. How do you deal with that? What are your thoughts on that?
It is what it is. People be thinking what they want, you know what I mean? Like, you can't judge somebody off the cover. You know what I mean, off the cover of the book, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta know their inside story, you gotta know, like, what they've been through, who their family is, you know what I mean? Like, shit like that.
So you say it just because you are half black, so it feels true to you?
It's just like, everybody around me grew up saying it.
For every white boy out there that wants to be something they are not, you can now just make up that your dad is black, and people are just going to roll with it.
You never had any issues with anybody over saying it?
I have. I've done kind of couple fades behind that, but.
Really? But you still feel like that's kind of your responsibility to stand on it? That's one thing I like about Jin Lee, is that he ain't backing down. If anybody got a problem with it, he's like, all right.
Luckily for the Jelly Belly demon, this gimmick has been working out great for him, and he is now making thousands of dollars a week off the back of this ridiculous and made-up backstory.
We got Lil Brazy.
Sheesh. Said about the trays with the bag.
Hey.
All that, they done brought us outside. We turned.
I guarantee this man is making significantly more money than a majority of the people who are watching this video, and that should show us exactly where we are at as a society. We all know Bobby from King of the Hill. Definitely is not from the hood and definitely is not black. But just like with Tekashi 6ix9ine, these types of gimmicks work and can make you millions of dollars. As the Jelly Belly demon continues dissing rivals, eventually the beef catches up with him, and a group of real gang members press him, and he threatens to call his mom on them.
Done dissing?
You done dishing Norte though?
Yes, I never, bro, I don't even.
Are you done dishing Norte, nigga?
Yes, I don't you like that, bro. Please stop.
Alright.
Done dissing. I was not talking. Bro, God, what is this, bro? I thought I was coming to kick it. Bro, I thought we was cool, nigga. Now come here for this. Hey, let me call my moms.
Unfortunately, Peggy won't be able to help you out of this situation. You're going to have to stand on everything you've been claiming over the past couple years. Mommy can't always come to the rescue.
I beef with all the Nortes.
Whoever cares about this kid needs to tell him to cut it out. While it might be funny watching Bobby from King of the Hill crash out and act a fool, the reality is, if he doesn't stop what he is doing, he is going to end up in a grave. If you're going to diss every single hood and claim that you're a sanctioned blood member, you can't keep threatening to call Peggy every time you find yourself in a situation.
I hope you crash.
At number 1, we look at one of the most respected white gangbangers in all of the streets of Los Angeles. A white boy named Nick, who goes by the street name Lush One that claims to be Jewish and a gang member from a Spanish hood. He was also officially put onto one of the deadliest gangs in California, the Pomona Bloods. In this next clip, you guys get to see how excited he is after he claims he was officially put on and sanctioned.
I'm from the set now. I got put on. Fool.
Hey, oh my God.
That was my put on.
This man's got so much respect. He's able to be both a Sereno and a Blood. This is the kind of role model everyone in the streets should be looking up to.
You really show.
I'm from 456
You
now.
really show. Where?
I'm from Pomona. I'm a Blood from Pomona.
Did you
now.
say?
These guys are nothing to play with. The 456 Bloods are one of the deadliest sets in all of California. They've got a reputation for putting in work and dropping bodies. So Lush's name must really hold some weight if they're letting him specifically name drop the set and talk about them on a podcast.
You say you from Trey 57?
Nah, fool. I'm from there.
Where you from, Lush?
I'm from Pomona.
He said it, not me.
Now.
He was this for Main.
Yeah.
He was this for Main Street about a month ago.
Yeah.
If your name holds weight like Lush's does, you can bang any hood you want.
Till they pulled up and couldn't get in.
You from Lopez.
I was from the same. I'm kind of still from
real
the
hood.
No.
Lush.
It's a thin line. You gotta pick.
Hold on. It's all gangs or don't bang. All right?
trying to take that.
Because of the respect gangs all across California have for this legendary man, he is the only person in all of California that is able to bang multiple hoods without any fear of repercussions. In this next clip, we get to see why Lush is considered a big dog in the hood and why he has a lot of rank in his Spanish gang.
That's it, dog. No, that was weak, fool. No, you won't, bro. You're banned from this one. You're not the homie.
Let's go. I'll see you later.
No, hey, guess what? You, bro.
Like the big dog he is, Gangsta Lush is easily able to kick out a high-ranking Southerner because of his rank.
My partner. You feel me? Family business. Wasn't no...
Dude, your tone changed so fast.
His tone might have changed, but the inner goon within this iconic goon will never change. Whoever is speaking might have just woken up the beast.
What you talking about?
Said family business.
How my tone changed? You mean from yesterday when
right now. Yeah, when he get in politics, he's going in intellectual lust mode, and then once he get in politic demon mode, it's a whole nother alias of Luscious.
Because like at the end of the day, it's like exactly.
Since a kid Lush's only goal in life has been to get the acceptance of African Americans, and when respected gang member Ralphie the Plug comes to Lush's defense, this is the happiest moment of this middle-aged gangbanger's life.
First of all, I feel so seen right now. Thank you, Ralphie the Plug. Shut up, Josh. You don't know what you're talking about.
Seriously, shut your mouth, Josh. Nobody wants to hear your opinion when a real gang member like Lush is speaking.
You feel me? Like, think about just think about how much cooler it is for Ralphie the Plug to understand your vision than Josh if we're keeping it a bundle in these streets. All right, so here's what happened, brother, all right?
Next, we get to hear the middle-aged suburban demon explain what exactly happened between him and his other Spanish gang banging homies from his gang.
All right, so here's what happened, brother, all right? So Josh was there, and he can verify as well. So the homie came through. He was turned up about the other homie. I wound up intervening, you feel me?
I would rather not feel you, but go on with your story.
And feeling slighted because he was coming at me some type of way.
When he is not gangbanging, this responsible adult likes to set an example to the youth about the importance of sobriety and how to be the best version of yourself.
Where's the whiskey at? Let's go! Turn up kings!
In order to ensure his friends are sober, this savant in our community offers up himself to consume all the whiskey, so his friends have no temptation.
Bourbon was fashionable.
Ooh.
Talking like 1940s New York. Richard.
When his co-host is not looking, this amazing middle-aged responsible adult decides to steal his glass of whiskey and drink it for himself, so his friend doesn't get tempted by the alcohol.
Or the everything420.com for easy ordering and use my code NOJUMPER. And just one second, I just want to say how happy I am,
What an amazing human being. We could all use a friend like Lush.
Rosenberg, to be wearing Fashion Nova.
Cheers,
Salute, salute, brother.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Look how much
Hey, you
Lush has now.
smoke Camel Straight.
How did it get that much? Oh, you took bricks.
This is someone we can all look up to and try to be more like.
I love my. And you know,
Because you are Lush,
We giving
I'm
you
sorry,
a super
guys.
I'm gonna give you the respect to you know what I'm saying? But if you was anybody else, I would have just dove in your shit.
In this last clip, we see this legendary gang member fully crash out on Instagram Live.
outside on the set. I'll shoot you right now. You noodle off your head. I will noodle you. I'm going outside right now on the set. I swear to God, you'll get noodled right now. Right now. Out of a joke, I will smoke you. Pull up on me. You noodle your noggin. What's up, fool? What's up, fool? What's up, fool? Come run that. Come run hands right now. What's up, fool? I won't even shoot you. Come run hands right now. Come run hands right now. What's up, fool? Come run hands right now. Come run hands right now. Come run hands right now.
And there you guys have it. The deadliest and most respected white boy in the streets of California, Lush One.
My partner. You feel me? Family business. Wasn't no.
Dude, your tone changed so fast.
At the end of the day, whether you are white, black, Hispanic, or Asian, every race has their bad apples that spoil the reputation of the whole community. As a black man, I can reassure you guys that 99% of us are good guys just trying to go to work every day so we can take care of our families. Unfortunately, it's that 1% of knuckleheads that have been spoiling the batch for everyone, and this type of behavior needs to be called out so the rest of us hardworking brothers and sisters don't get victimized by our own kind on our way home from work. If you got anything from this video, hopefully you can see there is nothing cool about being in the streets. And if you really want happiness and a good quality life, treating people well, working hard and spreading love will get you so much farther than joining some gang full of misguided youth.